What's up, mother flowers? What are y'all doing out there? What are y'all doing out there in the internet world? Ooh, yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I wonder if it's Ben. Is Ben the first one? Ben's always the first one. Who's the first one? Ben's the first one. What? Ben is always the first one. Dude, you're on it, bro. You have like super notifications. You have probably, are you like a super sub or what? Ben is always number one. Ben was number one yesterday. Crazy. But cheers to you, Ben. Coffee, cheers, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. For real, bro. Ben is on it. Where's it? Ben is like, boom, I got it. I got the notification. It's in my hand. It vibrated. It even said a honk honk beep beep. You know, it was good, dude. Not this time, Richie. Yeah, Ben was the first one. Look at the first comment. Ben was the first one, dude. He was the first one to comment, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. My wife got these glasses for me. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, me and my wife got matching glasses. It's awesome. I love it. Yes, she's awesome. Dude, she also got me the green glow Jordan 1s. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she got me the green glow Jordan 1s. They're coming next week. I can't wait. Yeah. Crazy, huh? What brand glasses? Actually, I don't know. These are on the website. She found the website. She likes, we both like weird glasses. Yeah, tonight my wife's doing her testimony at church tonight. So if anybody wants to come and check out my wife's testimony, it will be at First Love Church in Costa Mesa at 7 p.m. tonight. So we'll be at First Love Church tonight, Costa Mesa, 7 p.m. Yeah, you guys come out, check it out. Yeah. Can you be a clown? Yeah. Go ahead, be a clown. It's fun. It's amazing. Yeah, go for it, bro. Yeah, bro. Do it. The septum is a 0 gauge. I used to have double zero, but it's too big. So I just have a 0 gauge. I actually got acrylic plastic one. It's coming Friday. So that one's gonna be a lot easier to wear because it's not gonna be so heavy. And I do take it out at nighttime because like it's really hard to sleep with. So I take it out at nighttime, but it seems to close a little bit. So every day I have to like pierce it again, and it hurts. Like not pierce it again, but like I gotta push it through, and it just hurts. Like so, it's crazy. You should play tag with a tiger. Wow, that sounds crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but as human beings, we conflict pain. Yeah, I don't know if you ever experienced that, but yeah, human beings afflict pain. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm drinking the coffee, guys. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Hit the bell notifications, sub to the channel. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. My channel is about Jesus Christ. Yeah. About my life. I don't know. I just post whatever I want. I don't know. But I do read the Bible. Every day I read the Bible. So right now we're reading Judges. And you guys can follow along with the NLT version. I'm going to get into that pretty soon. So, yeah, I read the Holy Bible every single day, dude. Yeah. How do you play for all your tattoos? How do I pay for my tattoos? It's called working. I work, yeah. I work, yeah. But a long time ago, like I would say about over 10 years ago, I used to work at a tattoo shop, so that helped too. And I used to get free tattoos. So back in the days, yeah, I used to get a lot of free tattoos. I sometimes I do still, but I mean, I don't like to take advantage of people like giving me free tattoos. I like to pay for the service because also too, like, are we gonna finish the tattoo? You know, because a lot of times they'll start the tattoo and they won't finish it, and I'm like, dude, I want to finish this tattoo, and then they're busy and they're like, oh, I just want to hook you up. I just want to hook you up. I'm like, no, dude, I want to pay for this tattoo. I want to get it done. You know, so I'd rather pay for the tattoo and get it done opposed to getting it for free, because every time someone does something for free, they just don't, the job doesn't get done, or yeah, pretty much the job never gets done. So it's like, it's crazy, dude. I'd rather pay for it and be like, yo, I want it this day, I want to do that, I want to schedule it, you know. Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy, dude. I've definitely, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people experience it too. Yes, the cheesecake. Uh, we got cheesecake tonight. My wife's getting cheesecake for everybody. Yeah. Thank you for supporting. Appreciate it from India. Oh my goodness, India. That's crazy, dude. That's so dope. Yeah. My tattoos are all faded, so I just put makeup on, dude. I mean, I've been getting tattoos for years, and like, you know, I just put makeup now. Makeup. It's a bit of both. I'm a clown, so I'm allowed to do that, you know. Yeah. Why the hat? Because I like my little baby hat. What do you mean? It's my little baby hat. I love it. I love my little baby hat. My baby hat's cool, bro. Cool, bro. Cool. Yeah, yeah. Dude, I got the neon. Oh my gosh, no. I got the green glow Jordan 1s, bro. They're coming in. I can't wait. They're like this, the Jordan 1s, but they're green, but they're like a neon green glow. So instead of the black, they're the green glow. I can't wait. It's gonna be sick. They were on sale. I got a bunch of shoes. Check out all my shoes. I got my shoes, dude. All my shoes is crazy, huh? Got a bunch of shoes on. No, it fell off. There we go. Now we're back. What's up? Big long red shoes? What do you mean? I got big red shoes in my closet. Yeah. I got my clown shoes in the closet, and then I got my nice shoes over here. Yeah. No one cares about my shoes? Well, then no one cares about you. See you later. Goodbye. So mean. Yeah, I like the style of Jordan 1s. Yeah. I don't like, I mean, I got Jordan 4s, but the 4s are just like, I just don't, the style is like, I don't know. They're like puffy. I mean, I only have one pair of 4s. I got Jordan 1s mostly. And then I got these a long time ago for $100, and now these are $1,000. These are $1,000 right now. It's crazy. Like, I would say I got these about like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know, 2 years ago, and now like, yeah, all these are $1,000. It's crazy. It's nuts. But these are comfy. These ones. I don't know what number these are, but I like the style, like purple. I don't know. I just liked it, and they're comfy. I got yeah, so many different ones. It's not really an investment because I wear them. I'm not selling them. You know. I don't have the box. I don't like the boxes. I don't collect the boxes. I like to see them. I like to look at them. You know. So, and I also like dress shoes. I got dress shoes. Look at that leopard ones. Sparkly leopard dress shoes. They're just slip-ons. These are very uncomfortable, but if I put the soles in them, they're comfy for sure. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Yeah. Get it. What is this question right here? Do I wear the hat in public? Yeah, of course. Yeah. I walk around. I walk around in public. Absolutely. I gotta go shopping. I gotta go shop for food. I go to church. Yeah, we're going to church tonight. We're going to church tonight at 7 p.m. tonight. My wife is speaking her testimony, so we'll be there tonight at First Love Church in Costa Mesa, 7 p.m. tonight. You guys want to come out? Come out. There's worship. It's awesome. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. Yeah. Do I wear those on special occasions? Yeah. I mean, I just wear them like whenever I feel like I want to wear them. I wear them. You know. I like these ones too. These are also, they're like leopard, punk rock studs. These are spiky slip-ons. I got the Dr. Scholl's in there, so they're comfortable with Dr. Scholl's. Got those ones. The Dosi and Cabones, sparkly ones. These are comfy. These are ones. I got 3 pairs of these. I got the red ones, the black ones, and then the pink ones. The pink ones, I don't think these are my size. They're too like tight. So I got the pink ones, the red ones. I got the black ones. The black ones are cool. But yeah, these are for sure comfy slip-ons. They're like running shoes. They're sparkly. Dosi Cabone. Crazy, huh? Yeah. Bro's a clown. Yeah. I got the Donald Trumps. You want to see the Donald Trumps? These are nice. I got the Donald Trumps. Boom. Look at that. The Trumps, dude. There's only 2,000 ever made. And I got these pair. Yeah, the Donald Trumps. I've been wearing them for sure. Since he's been president, I've been wearing them. Definitely. I definitely like gold. I got the Louis Vuitton gold. I got the Air Force Ones, the Louis Vuitton gold. They're kind of dirty. I put the gold laces in them because they look way better. I got these ones right here. I do wear these. These are nice. These are really comfy. Also got these ones. These are puffy, dude. These are like super puffy shoes. Comfy. These ones are dope. I just got these ones. These ones are sick too, the Louis Vuitton. They're thick, dude. Super thick. I got another pair Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones highs. These are the high top ones. These are sick too. These are dope. These are probably these are comfy. These are super comfy. These ones, I don't wear them that much, but when I wear them, they're comfy. Like they're super comfy. I like those ones. I got another pair. Got the low tops. Got the low top Louis. These are comfy. I wear these ones too. Then I got the white ones. I don't wear these that much because they're white, but when I do wear them. The white Louis Vuitton ones. She got the cheesecake. That's awesome. Yeah, so I got a little pair of shoes. You know, a lot of people have like hundreds of pairs, but like, dude, that's a lot. I probably got about 30, 40 pairs, maybe shoes. I don't know. I got these ones, the low top dunks. These are comfy too. Low top dunkies right there. Low top dunkies. There's a staple inside of them. It's crazy. Staple inside of them. It's crazy. These ones are cool. I like the red laces. I think these are the mochas. Not sure. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for looking at my shoes. I don't know. Everybody's always asking me like, "Hey, what kind of shoes you got?" You know. I got the neon teddies. The Adidas neon teddies. These are about like $1,000, $1,000. I don't really wear these that much because when I cut hair, the shoes, the hair gets inside the shoes, so that's why I don't really wear those that much. These are comfy. These are the neon teddies. I got these like 10 years ago. Actually, what? I don't know. I got these when they first came out, and these were about, I think these were about $300 back in the days. But now they're like, they're a lot of money. They're yeah, the neon teddies. The first pair of Jordans I've ever got, they're these ones, the Laker ones. These are old. These are so old, dude. These are like really old. This is the first pair I ever got. Then my second pair, I got these ones. I wore these on America's Got Talent. These are the ones I wore on America's Got Talent. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen me on America's Got Talent, check it out on YouTube. Just put Richie the Barber, America's Got Talent. You can check it out. I did switch the laces on these. These are, because they're old. But yeah, these are the second pair of Jordans I got. So I got these ones and I got these ones. Yeah. And then my wife got me a pair of these ones. I got these ones, the ones, and then that was it. And then I started buying a bunch of them. I just started buying, like, I got these ones, and then I got the pandas. I bought the pandas. I guess that's what you call them, right? But everybody has these ones. Everybody has the low ones. Everybody's got the low top pandas. Everybody's got them, you know. But so I got these ones, and I got my brother a pair of these shoes. My brother for Christmas. So then my wife got me these for Christmas, and I was like, what? So then that's when I was like, all right, I want to buy a bunch. But right now I got a low top kick right now. Like right now I'm digging the low tops. I don't know, it's crazy. You know what I mean? I'm digging the low tops. I just got these pair. These are the brand new ones. I just got these ones, the low tops. They're cool right now. I just got these pair. These are nice. This ones, and then I got these ones, and I got the brown ones. But I'm thinking about putting the pink laces on the brown shoes. You know what I mean? They do look good with the olives though. It's the olive laces. They look good. I got these ones. Boom, check them out. These are brand new. So I don't really wear brown shoes, but these are nice. These are cool. So I got these ones. These just came out, but I don't know. I think I might put the pink laces in these. I'm not sure. I don't know. And then I mean I really like these ones, the blue ones. Dude, the low tops are sick, dude. The low tops are nice. I wear these a lot. I like the blue ones. I couldn't help it. I was like, dude, I gotta buy these. I gotta buy them. I love shoes. Like, I love shoes. Like, you know, people make fun of me. They make fun of me all the time. They're like, how can you like shoes? I'm like, dude, I love shoes. And then I got these ones. I mean, the yellow ones. I mean, come on. These are nice. The red, I love red. Red's my favorite color. I love the red ones. Dang, dude, check these out. Dude, these are sick right here. Yeah, dude, people make fun of me all the time. They're like, why do you have so many shoes? I'm like, dude, I love shoes. I don't know. I just got into shoes. I love them, you know. It's really hard for me, to not, not buy shoes. But yeah. But I told my wife today, I'm like, oh, the green glows are out. Oh, they're on sale. And then she bought them for me. I'm like, damn, dude, I love you, baby. You know? green gloves. Can't go wrong with the classics. Can't go wrong with the classics, right? The OG Jordans right here. Can't go wrong with the classics right here. I wear these a lot. I wear these a lot. I just redid the laces because I had yellow laces in them, and the yellow laces got like chewed up, dude. They were like all dirty. They had a bunch of hair on them, so I got the black ones. So I went back to the classic. I got the black laces, but they're pretty old. They're cracked up, you know. These are my beaters. These are my beaters. So I wear these a lot, these ones, and I wear both these a lot. These ones are like my go-to. These ones, I love these ones. So I got these shoes right here, boom. These are like, I'll wear these. They look good with my skinny jeans. I'll wear like the black skinny jeans with these. Nice. Yeah, I love them. They're so nice. The OGs. So I'm gonna put these. I got a cool like frame, and it's like a canvas, and they got the shoes, like the Jordan's first shoe, and then I'm gonna put these up right next to the canvas, like on the wall, because these are like the first pair of Jordans. Dude, has anybody ever seen the movie, the Sneakers? What was it called? It was what's it called? It's Matthew McConaughey and Ben Affleck, and it's about the shoes. What's that movie called? Do you guys remember that? That movie's awesome. What movie was it called? Dang, it was a good movie. I want to watch that today. Air Jordan. Yeah, Air Jordan. Was that it? Like Mike? No. You guys seen the documentary, right? That's the best documentary too. The Last Stand. The Last Stand. Peter Parker. No, it's Spider-Man. Get out of here. Air. It's called Air. Yeah, whatever that movie was called, it was awesome, and I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't know all that. I didn't know the history on it. I didn't know that his mother, Jordan's mom, is the one that did the deal for Nike, but Jordan originally wanted Converse. It's crazy, huh? And then back then, Adidas was like the top. Adidas was like big time, and then yeah, and then he went to Nike. It's crazy. But look at, boom, the first one, dude. I want to get the black and red. It's like a black right here and then red. I want to get those ones. I don't know what they're called. They're the Jordan ones, but I don't know which ones they're called, but I don't know. They're pretty sick. But yeah, douche. I like them all in the. Ooh, these are the gold ones. I love the Jordan ones. I like the golds. I like gold. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 pair of gold shoes. Dang. I don't really wear these that much because the white, you know. I wear these. I don't know. I'll pretty much wear like 2 pairs of shoes a day. So like I'll wear a pair to go work out, you know, and then I'll wear, if I go somewhere, I'll wear another pair. You know what I mean? So I normally switch out shoes. I wear 2 pairs of shoes a day, different ones. You know, that's what I do. So like I'll work out with like, you know, some of my Jordan 1s, some of the low tops. I'll work out in those, and then when I go out and about, I'll wear like my Louis Vuitton ones. You know. Yeah, actually, I like Louis Vuitton more than Gucci. Gucci, I don't know. I don't like the style of Gucci. I used to have 1 pair of Gucci low ones, but I don't know where they are. But yeah, but the Jordan ones are cool. I don't know what these ones are. These ones are pretty cool too. I don't know what number these are. The Jordan ones. They're pretty cool. They're shiny. I don't really wear them that much because they're white. I don't know. I try not to wear the white ones that much. But these are cool too. These are on the bottoms. Another Laker one. Oh, Laker colors, bro. I got these ones. And then I got the other yellow ones. Remember these ones and the yellow ones? These are the first ones. These are the Laker ones. And then I got these ones right here. These are sick, dude. Can't go wrong with Lakers. So yeah, I'll work out with these ones, and then if I go out and about, I'll wear my fancy shoes, you know. You can't forget the cowboy boots. Ooh, look at these ones. These are rhinestones. These are cowboy rhinestone boots. These are super expensive. Custom made. They smell like pure leather. Well, they are pure leather. These are like extremely expensive, these ones. Extremely expensive. My wife wears these shoes. I wear these shoes. These are probably like, I'm not gonna say it. These are really expensive. It's ridiculous. But I saw them and I was like, I have to buy them. So I bought these cowboy boots. So I wear them with my skinny jeans. I wear them with my little baby hat, you know. So, but these are nice. These are really nice. My skinny ones, those are pretty much, I don't know, all my shoes kind of. Yeah, there's all my shoes, pretty much. Yeah, those are yeah. I got all my shoes right there, bro. It's crazy, huh? Yeah, and then my wife has a bunch of shoes too. She's got like a bunch of leopard stuff, leopard shoes. But the crazy thing is we both wear the same size shoe, so we can wear our shoes together. You know, so that's cool. I'm size 8.5. I got little feet, dude. Yeah. Any of the small hats? Yes, but the strings are like, they're all like broken. They're like, because they were in the car, so the strings are broken. So I have I got a gold top hat, and then another like small black. So I got altogether three baby hats, and then I got a bunch of top hats my wife made, and then I got a bunch of hats. I wear hats. I got a bunch of shoes. I'm a super diva. I'm a diva. What is my career? I'm an entertainer, clown, barber. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. Where's the tiny clown car? I never really wanted a tiny car because you can't put anything in it. And I have a family, so we can't fit everybody in the car. There's 4 of us, dude. So I had a clown van, and it had my face on the side of it. It was pretty cool. But that car broke down, and then so we're actually getting a new car. We're going car shopping this Saturday, so we're gonna get a brand new car. We're just gonna pay cash and get a car, you know. Yeah. But yeah, dude, they always try to get me to get a clown car. They're like, hey, check out this car. I'm like, dude, you want me to die in this car? It's crazy, you know? Yeah. And also on a smart car or like a Fiat, there's 2 horns. Yeah, there's like a little button you can press it and it goes, "Meow." Yeah, it's cool. It's crazy. Would I like to open up a circus? Not really. No, I'd rather open up a barber shop, you know. I wouldn't really want to open up a circus. Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather have something that makes money, you know. Circus is hard, it's hard, man. You gotta pay the talent, and the talent doesn't want to, do anything. Then a lot of the performers are drug addicts and alcoholics, a lot of them. But I mean, I'm mostly like the freak show. What am I doing today? I'm just chilling. I'm gonna read the Bible. I'm reading Judges. I'm reading Judges today, and then Pastor Joey's coming over today. I'm gonna cut Pastor Joey's hair. My wife is telling her testimony tonight. She's been sober for 6 or 7 years, I think. So my wife's telling her testimony tonight at church. It's at First Love Church tonight at 7 p.m. Everybody's welcome to come out tonight. So we do worship in the beginning, and then she's going to tell her testimony. We have cheesecake. Everybody's going to have cheesecake tonight. And then, yeah, it's going to be cool. So every Thursday night, we go to the First Love Church, and it's a recovery night. So it's all, drugs, alcohol, any kind of addiction. We gather there, and then we celebrate. And just like, we have a strong group support system, and everybody's welcome. So it's in Costa Mesa, California, First Love Church in Costa Mesa, California. Check it out, guys. It's cool. I almost got a Muppet made of myself one time. There's custom Muppets that you can actually get them made for like $1,000. I almost got one. It's pretty cool. Yeah. How much for tonight? It's free. There's no cost. It's all free tonight. It's all free. It's free. It's called Recovery. It should be recover free. you know. But yeah, there's. I mean, if you want to buy like, I mean, they have like books there. You can buy books. You know, there's books for sale. But other than that, it's all free. So they play worship music in the beginning, and then tell the testimony, and then after that, people like talk and hang out, and yeah, it's pretty cool. There's no cost on the church. There's no cost. It's free. Yeah. I don't smoke cigarettes. I haven't smoked cigarettes in years. I used to smoke a long time ago. Yes. Yes. What time? 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, come out tonight. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, those that are in recovery or people that want to get sober, come out tonight. First Love Church tonight at 7 p.m. Costa Mesa, California. Yeah. Why did I paint my nails? Because I'm punk rock. I'm punk rock. Punk rocker, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Which piercing hurt the most? I've had a lot of piercings in my life. I would say my nipples. Nipples hurt the worst. I actually want to stretch them. I want to stretch them because I want to hang stuff. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be rad. Punk for Jesus. Yeah, let's go. What made me quit cigarettes? Because you can die. What do you mean? Because it's bad? It doesn't feel good. It's horrible. It's horrible, dude. There's like more than 24 poisons in like cigarettes or something like that. There's a lot. It's crazy. There's like extreme amounts, you know. Live session for the service. Yeah, I might. Yeah, I'll probably go live. I was thinking about going live. Yeah, I don't know. I might go live. I was thinking about it. There's nothing inside the hat. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yes, I have a family. I have a wife, of course. Yes. I was never in a movie. I was in like independent movies. Oh, I'm fit. You can't even see me. You can't even see me. I'm wearing a sweater. But yeah, I work out every day. I do lately. So lately, what I do is I run for an hour, or like I'll run for like 30 minutes, and then I'll do the stair stepper for another 30 minutes, and then depending on what group I'm working at, like what area I'm working at, I'll do a bunch of different workouts. So if I'm doing back, I'll do like almost every back exercise I can think of, you know. Yesterday I did chest. I always do triceps. Every single day I do triceps. Every single day I do my abs. So I work my abs out. What do I eat? I've been eating pretty good lately. Just like egg whites in the morning. Egg whites, Italian sausage. I just try to eat meat, you know. Try to eat meat. I run for like an hour, so I think that helps out a lot. You know, you just burn like so many calories, you know. So yeah. Yeah. Remember the movie Clowns? Clowns. I don't know. Is it an independent movie? I think I've seen. I don't know. No, I haven't seen that one. That one's like where he like pulls his. He's a real clown or something like that. I think. I pretty much know all the clown movies, bro. Because people always tell me about the clown movies, but I don't know. Do I have to drink out of a straw? Yes. If I don't, it just comes everywhere. It just comes out everywhere. Because I have piercings. So it just like falls. Yeah, I drink out of a straw. I just like it. How heavy are these earrings? I don't know. I don't weigh them. But these ones are zero. Like, I think these are double zero. But I don't know. These are zero. I got gold zero ones. And then there's like two in there. I want to get all my ears done. Just like a bunch of earrings right here. Like tons. And then I want to get my back of my head blasted. Like, I want to get tattooed on the back of my head, like, redone. So, there's a guy that wants to do it. He's like, just tip me. He's all, tip me whatever you want and just do it. And then, so I'm thinking about doing it for Christmas. I don't know. My wife's getting her chest done. She's going to get an owl. She loves owls. So my wife's getting her whole chest blasted like an owl. But at the back of my head, if you know Lou Jacobs, Lou Jacobs is a clown. He's the first clown from the Barley Bailing Ringling Circus. He's the first clown that was a part of that. So he's on the back of my head, but he's like faded. I just want to get him retouched up, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, so he's gonna be on there. Ghosts are demons. So if you see ghosts, those are demons. Yeah. So pretty much, if they see ghosts around them, that means they have demons in them. So that's likely what happens. Or there's a matter of time where they're gonna enter within you. So normally, so that's when you get sleep paralysis. When you're sleep paralysis, it's a demon entering within you. So if you can't move and a demon is above you, you see the demon and then it will enter. That's pretty much sleep paralysis. So yeah, they'll enter within you. I don't know they'll enter your eye gates, mouth gates, nose gates, ear gates. You got other sexual gateways that you can do that easily they'll enter. So that's why we got to be careful for what we watch. Be careful what we watch, what we listen to, what are we participating in. Because if you are participating in some crazy stuff, you can easily open some doors. So this is not good, you know. Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah. So yeah. Why do they like abandoned places? It's not that they like abandoned places. They're just things have happened. So when people die, they're called wandering spirits. So they're looking for a home. So they're stuck. So they're around. so when you're at a place, it could be a principality. It could be a whole area. It could be like, I don't know. I mean, that could be a big area. Like, so if you go into an abandoned hospital or some kind of whatever, they're stuck, you know? So they're waiting to enter within people. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah. So, and also too, if you're, I mean, it's not a good idea to hang out at cemeteries or if you're looking for ghosts or spirits, it's not a good idea to do that. No, I would not recommend it. It's not a good idea. Yeah. So it's real, dude. It's real. But I mean, we don't need to fear them because they want us to fear them. Demons want people to fear them, and that's why they do the movies. That's what they try to flex at you, and they try to make you scared, dude. Demons always try to make you scared, but we have to know our authority through Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? So we know our authority. It says it in the Holy Bible that we have all authority over all demonic beings, and they can't do nothing to you. So you got to just stay. They can sense your fear. They can sense if you're scared. They can sense all kinds of stuff. So if you show no fear, they're gonna be fleeing from you. You know what I'm saying? So the more you tap in with Jesus Christ, the more you're with Jesus, the more you're in the Spirit, right? The more you're connected with the Holy Ghost, then they're fearing you. So everywhere you go, they're like, ah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I recommend everybody do that. Get in that quiet place and walk out in the spirit. If you're walking out in the spirit, they're afraid of you. You know what I mean? And of course, the world's not gonna like you because they're demonized, right? So they're all these people like they don't like you. That's because they don't like your Holy Spirit. They don't like your anointing. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what comes with it. That's what comes with the persecution. You know what I mean? So, and once you start it, you can't stop it. You know what I mean? Once you enter the deliverance ministry, you can't stop. You can't stop. If you stop, then they win. You know what I mean? So, and they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop with you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna stop. You know. So, yeah, you might as well keep on going. Yeah. Come to Brazil. Can't stop, won't stop. Come to Brazil, dude. The only way I'm flying anywhere is if someone's got to fly me out, because I'm not paying my money to go anywhere. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Peace and love. Jesus loves you. Demons were fallen angels. Demons are fallen angels. That's what they are. Yeah. All right, so we're in Judges. Judges. Let's go to Judges. We're reading Judges is a lot. It's a lot of reading right here. Let's get into Judges right here. We're reading the Holy Bible. Thank you, Jesus. Come on. Place my hands against the pillars that hold up the temple. I want to rest against them. Now the temple was completely filled with people. All the Philistines rulers were there, and there were about 3,000 men and women on the roof who were watching as Samson amused them. Then Samson played to the Lord, serving, Lord, remember me again, O Lord, or God, please strengthen me just one more time with one blow. Let me pay back the Philistines for the loss of my two eyes. Then Samson put his hands on the two center pillars that held up the temple, pushing against them with both hands. He prayed, let me die with the Philistines. And the temple crashed down on the Philistines' rulers and all the people. So he killed more people when he died than he had during his entire lifetime. Later, his brothers and other relatives went down to get his body. They took him back home and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol, where his father Moah was buried. Samson had judged Israel for 20 years. Oh my goodness. What the heck? Oh my goodness. I'm reading the Holy Bible, bro. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so mad. Oh, you're so mad. Oh. Chapter 17 in the NLT version. Sorry. Judges, chapter 17 in the NLT version. Sorry. I got my tongue's all twisted. There was a man named Misha who lived in the hill country of Ephraim. One day he said to his mother, I heard you place a curse on the person who stole 1,100 pieces of silver from you. Well, I have the money. I was the one who took it. The Lord bless you for admitting it. His mother replied, he returned the money to her, and she said, I now dedicate these silver coins to the Lord. In honor of my son, I will have an image carved and an idol cast. So when he returned the money to his mother, she took 200 silver coins and gave them to a silversmith, who made them into an image and an idol. And these were placed in Mishka's house. Mishka set up a shrine for the idol, and he made a sacred ephod and some household idols. Then he installed one of his sons as his personal priest. In those days, Israel had no king. All the people did whatever seemed right in their own eyes. One day, a young Levite who had been living in Bethlehem and Judah arrived in that area. He had left Bethlehem in search of another place to live. And as he traveled, he came to the hill country of Ephraim. He happened to stop at Mishka's house as he was traveling through. Where are you from? Mishka asked him. He replied, I am Levite from Bethlehem in Judah, and I am looking for a place to live. Stay here with me, Mishka said, and you can be father and priest to me. I will give you 10 pieces of silver, a year plus a change of clothes, and your food. The Levite agreed to this, and the young man became like one of Mishka's sons. So Mishka installed the Levite as his personal priest, and he lived in Mishka's house. I know the Lord will bless me now. Mishka said, because I have a Levite serving as my priest. Come on, Jesus. Yes, let's go. What religion? This is a relationship. This is a relationship with Jesus Christ. In the Holy Bible, yes. Come on, Jesus. All right, chapter 18 in the NLT version. Judges. Judges chapter 18. Idolatry in the tribe of Dan. Now, in those days, Israel had no king, and the tribe of Dan was trying to find a place where they could settle, for they had not yet moved into the land assigned to them. When the land was divided among the tribes of Israel, so the men of Dan chose from their clans 5 capital warriors from the towns of Zorah and Eshtaol to scout out a land for them to settle in. When these warriors arrived in the hill country of Ephraim, they came to Mishka's house and spent the night there. While at Mishka's house, they recognized the young Levite's ascent. So they went over and asked him, who brought you here? And what are you doing in this place? Why are you here? He told them about his agreement with Mishka and that he had been hired as Mishka's personal priest. Then they said, ask God whether or not our journey will be successful. Go in peace. The priest replied, for the Lord is watching over your journey. So the 5 men went on to the town of Lavish, where they noticed the people living carefree lives like the Sidonians. They were peaceful and secure. The people were also wealthy because their land was very fertile, and they lived a great distance from Sidon and had no allies nearby. When the men returned to Zorah and Eshtaol, the relatives asked them, what did you find? The men replied, come on, let's attack them. We have seen the land and it is very good. What are you waiting for? Don't hesitate to go and take possession of it. When you get there, you will find the people living carefree lives. God has given us a spacious and fertile land lacking in nothing. So 600 men from the tribe of Dan, armed with weapons of war, set out from Zerah and Eshtaol. They camped at a place west of Kirath and Jerith and Jedah, which is called Mehadan. To this day, then they went on from there into the hill country of Ephraim and came to the house of Micah. The 5 men who had scouted out the land around Laish explained to the others, these buildings contain sacred ephod, as well as household idols, a carved image and cast idol. What do you think you should do? Then the 5 men turned off the road and went over to Mishka's house, where the young Levite lived, and greeted him kindly as the 600 armed warriors from. This is the NLT version. Judges chapter 19. The tribe of Dan stood at the entrance of the gate. The 5 scouts entered the shrine and removed the carved image, the sacred ephod, and the household idols, and the cast idol. Meanwhile, the priest was standing at the gate with the 600 armed warriors. Come on, Jesus, let's go. When the priest saw the men carrying all the sacred objects out of Mishka's shrine, he said, what are you doing? Be quiet and come with us, they said. Be a father and a priest to all of us. Isn't it better to be a priest for an entire tribe and clan of Israel than for the household of just one man? The young priest was quiet, happy to go with them. So he took along the sacred ephod, the household idols, and the carved image. They turned and started on their way again, and placing their children, livestock, and possessions in front of them. When the people from the tribe of Dan were quiet and distant from Mishka's house, the people who lived near Mishka came chasing after them. They were shouting as they caught up with them. The man of Dan turned around and said to Mishka, what's the matter? Why have you called these men together and chased after us like this? What do you mean? What's the matter? Mishka replied, you've taken away all the gods I have made in my priests, and I have nothing left. The men of Dan said, watch what you say. There are some short-tempered men around here who might get angry and kill you and your family. So the men of Dan continued on their way. When Mishka saw that there were too many of them for him to attack, he turned around and went home. Then the Mishka idols and his priests, the men of Dan, came to the town of Lavish, or whose people were peaceful and secure. They attacked with swords and burned the town to the ground. There was no one to rescue the people, for they lived a great distance from Sidon and had no allies nearby. This happened to the valley near Beth Rehab. Then the people of the tribe of Dan rebuilt the town and lived there. They renamed the town Dan after their ancestors, Israel's son, but it had originally been called Laish. Then they set up the carved image, and they appointed Jenath, son of Gershom, son of Moses, and their priests. This family continued as priests for the tribe of Dan until the exile. So Mishka's carved image was worshipped by the tribe of Dan as long as the tabernacle of God remained at Shiloh. Come on, chapter 19. Judges chapter 19, the NLT version, the Holy Bible. Oh, come on, Jesus, let's go. The Levite and his concubine. Now, in those days, Israel had no king. There was a man from the tribe of Levi living in a remote area of the hill country of Ephraim. One day, he brought home a woman from Bethlehem in Judah to be his concubine. But she became angry with him and returned to her father's home in Bethlehem. After about 4 months, her husband set out for Bethlehem to speak personally to her and persuade her to come back. He took with him a servant and a pair of donkeys. When he arrived at her father's house, her father saw him and welcomed him. Her father urged him to stay a while, so he stayed 3 days, eating, drinking, and sleeping there. On the fourth day, the man was up early, ready to leave. But the woman's father said to his son-in-law, "Have something to eat before you go." So the two men sat down together and had something to eat and drink. Then the woman's father said, "Please stay another night and enjoy yourself." The man got up to leave, but his father-in-law kept urging him to stay. So he finally gave in and stayed the night. On the morning of the fifth day, he was up early again, ready to leave. And again, the woman's father said, "Have something to eat, then you can leave later this afternoon." So they had another day of feasting. Later, as the man and his concubine and his servants were preparing to leave, his father-in-law said, "Look, it's almost evening. Stay the night and enjoy yourself. Tomorrow you can get up early and be on your way." But this time the man was determined to leave, so he took his 2 saddled donkeys and his concubine and headed in the direction of Jubas, that is Jerusalem. It was late in the day when they neared Jubas, and the man's servant said to him, "Let's stop at this Jebusite town and spend the night there." "No," his master said, "we can't stay in this foreign town where there are no Israelites. Instead, we will go on to Geba. Come on, let's try to get as far as Gibeah or Raham, and we'll spend the night in one of those towns." So they went on. The sun was setting as they came to Gibeah, a town in the land of Benjamin. So they stopped there to spend the night. They rested in the town square, but no one took them in for the night. That evening, an old man came from his work in his fields. He was from the hill country of Ephraim, but he was living in Gibeah, for the people were from the tribe of Benjamin. When he saw the travelers sitting in the town square, he asked them where they were from and where were they going. "We have been in Bethlehem and Judah," the man replied. "We are on our way to a remote area in the hill country of Ephraim." Come on, Jesus. Let's go, Jesus. Oh, yes. We're reading Judges. Let's go. Yes. But which is my home? I traveled to Bethlehem, and now I'm returning home. But no one has taken us in for the night, even though we have everything we need. We have straw and feed for our donkeys and plenty of bread and wine for ourselves. "You are welcome to stay with me," the old man said. "I will give you anything you might need, but whatever you do, don't spend the night in the square." So he took them home with him and fed the donkeys. After they washed their feet, they ate and drank together. While they were troublemakers from the town surrounded the house, they began beating at the door and shouting to the old man, "Bring out the man who is staying with you so we can have sex with him." The old man stepped outside to talk to them, No, my brothers, don't do such an evil thing, for this man is a guest in my house, and such a thing would be shameful. Here, take my virgin daughters and this man's concubine. I will bring them out to you, and you can abuse them and do whatever you like. But don't do such a shameful thing to this man. But they won't listen to him. So the Levite took hold of his concubine and pushed her out the door. The men of the town abused her all night, taking turns doing things to her until the morning. Finally, at dawn, they let her go. At daybreak, the woman returned to the house where her husband was staying. She collapsed at the door of the house, and they lay there until it was light. Oh my goodness. Crazy, bro. So crazy, bro. When her husband opened the door to leave, there lay his concubine with her hands on the threshold. He said, "Get up, let's go." But theirs was no answer. So he put her body on his donkey and took her home. When he got home, he took a knife and cut his concubine's body into 12 pieces. Then he sent one piece to each tribe throughout all the territory of Israel. Everyone who saw it said, "Such a horrible crime has not been committed in all the time since Israel left Egypt." Think about it. Whatever we are going to do, who's going to speak up? Oh my goodness. Chapter 20, Judges, chapter 20 in the NLT version in the Holy Bible. Yes. Israel's war with Benjamin, chapter 20. Then all the Israelites were united as one man from Dan in the north, Beersheba in the south, including those from across the Jordan in the land of Gilead. The entire community assembled in the presence of the Lord at Mizpah. The leaders of all the people and all the tribes of Israel, 400,000 warriors armed with swords, took their positions in the assembly of the people of God. Word soon reached the land of Benjamin that the other tribes had gone up to Mizpah. The Israelites then asked how this terrible crime had happened. The Levite, the husband of the woman who had been murdered, said, "My concubine and I came to spend the night in Geba, a town that belongs to the people of Benjamin. That night, some of the leading citizens of Geba surrounded the house, planning to kill me, and they essayed me, my concubine, until she was dead. So I cut her body into 12 pieces and sent the pieces throughout the territory, a sign of it to Israel. For these men have committed a terrible and shameful crime. Now then, all of you, the entire community of Israel, must decide here and now what should be done about this." And all the people rose to their feet in unison and declared, "None of us will return home. No, not even one of us. Instead, this is what we will do to Geba. We will draw lots to decide who will attack it. 1/10 of the men from each tribe will be chosen to supply the warriors with the food, and the rest of us will take refuge on Geba of Benjamin for this shameful thing they have done in Israel." So all the Israelites were completely united, and they gathered together to attack the town. The Israelites sent messengers to the tribe of Benjamin, saying, "What a terrible thing has been done among you. Give up those evil men, those troublemakers from Geba, so we can execute them and purge Israel from this evil." But the people of Benjamin would not listen. Instead, they came from their towns and gathered at Geba to fight the Israelites. In all, 26,000 of their warriors armed with swords arrived in Geba to join the 700 elite troops who lived there. Among Benjamin's elite troops, 700 were left-handed, and each of them could sling a rock and hit a target within a hair's spread without missing. Israel had 400,000 experienced soldiers armed with swords, not counting Benjamin's warriors. Before the battle, the Israelites went to the Bethel and asked God which tribe should go first to attack the people of Benjamin. The Lord answered, "Judah is to go first." So the Israelites left early the next morning and camped near Geba. Then they advanced towards Geba to attack the men of Benjamin. But Benjamin's warriors who were defending the town came out and killed 22,000 Israelites on the battlefield that day. Crazy. But the Israelites encouraged each other and took their positions again at the same place they had found the previous day, for they had gone up to Bethel and wept in the presence of the Lord until evening. They had asked, "Lord, should we fight? Should we fight against our relatives from Benjamin again?" Oh my goodness. My eyes just... Come on, Jesus. Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate you. Oh, yes. You got a lot of people out here. Praise the Lord Jesus. We got a lot of people. Make sure to sub, hit the bell, hit the notifications. We're reading Judges chapter 20, NLT version. Come on, Jesus. And the Lord had said, go out and fight against them. So the next day they went out again to fight against the men of Benjamin. Well, the men of Benjamin killed another 18,000 Israelites, of all of whom were experienced with the sword. Then all the Israelites went up to Bethel and wept in the presence of the Lord and fasted until evening. They also brought burnt offerings and peace offerings to the Lord. The Israelites went up seeking direction from the Lord. In those days, the ark of the covenant of God was in Bethel. And what is it? And Pinehas, son of Esler, it's hard to say the words, and grandson of Aaron, was the priest of the Israelites, asked the Lord, should we fight against our relatives from Benjamin again, or should we stop? The Lord said, go tomorrow. I will hand them over to you. Come on, Jesus. So the Israelites set an ambush all around Geba. They went out on the third day and took their positions at the same place as before. When the men of Benjamin came out to attack, they were drawn away from the town. And as they had done before they began to kill the Israelites, about 30 Israelites died in the open fields and along the roads and leading to Bethel, and the other leading back to Geba. Then the warriors of Benjamin shouted, we're defeating them as we did before. But the Israelites had planned in advance to run away so that the men of Benjamin would chase them along the roads and be drawn away from the town. Go ahead. You can't report me if I'm blocking you. Ha ha ha. Later, bro. When the main group of Israelites warriors reached Baltimore, they turned and took up their positions. Meanwhile, the Israelites hiding in an ambush to the west of Geba jumped up to fight. There were 10,000 Israelite troops who advanced against Geba. The fighting was so heavy that Benjamin didn't realize the impending disasters. So the Lord helped Israel defeat Benjamin, and that day the Israelites killed 25,100 of Benjamin's warriors, all of whom were experienced swordsmen. Then the men of Benjamin saw that they were beaten. The Israelites had retreated from Benjamin's warriors in order to give those hiding in ambush more room to man over against Geba. Then those who were hiding rushed in from all sides and killed everyone in the town. They had arranged to send up a large cloud of smoke from the town as a signal. When the Israelites saw the smoke, they turned and attacked Benjamin's warriors. By that time, Benjamin's warriors had killed about 30 Israelites, and they shouted, we're defeating them as we did in the first battle. But when the warriors of Benjamin looked behind them and they saw the smoke rising into the sky from every part of the town, the men of Israel turned and attacked. At this point, the men of Benjamin became terrified because they realized disaster was close at hand. So they turned around and fled before the Israelites toward the wilderness, but they couldn't escape the battle, and the people who came out of the nearby towns were also killed. The Israelites surrounded the men of Benjamin and chased them relentlessly, finally overtaking them east of Geba. That day, 18,000 of Benjamin's strongest warriors died in battle. The survivors fled into the wilderness toward the rock of Rimmon, but Israel killed 5,000 of them along the road. They continued the chase until they had killed another 2,000 near Gideon. So that day, the tribe of Benjamin lost 25,000 strong warriors armed with swords, leaving only 600 men who escaped to the rock of Rimmon, where they lived for 4 months. And the Israelites returned and slaughtered every living thing in all the towns, the people, the livestock, and everything they found. They also burned down all the towns they came to. Chapter 21, Judges chapter 21 in the NLT version. Israel provides wives for Benjamin. Come on, Jesus. What's up? Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Jesus. Yes. We're reading Judges. Yeah. And we're going to go to that towards that way. Yeah. we're going to read the whole Bible. Yeah. We're going to read it all. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. Let's go. The Israelites had vowed at Mizpah, "We will never give our daughters in marriage to a man from the tribe of Benjamin." Now the people went to Bethel and sat in the presence of God until evening, weeping loudly and bitterly. "O Lord God of Israel," they cried out, "why has this happened in Israel? Now one of our tribes is missing from Israel." Early the next morning, the people built an altar and presented their burnt offerings and peace offerings on it. Then they said, "Who among the tribes of Israel did not join us at Mishpath when we held our assembly in the presence of the Lord?" At the time they had taken a solemn oath in the Lord's presence, vowing that anyone who refused to come would be put to death. Come on, Jesus. The Israelites felt sorry for their brother Benjamin and said, "Today one of the tribes of Israel has been cut off. How can we find wives for the few who remain, since we have sworn by the Lord not to give them our daughters in marriage?" So they asked, "Who among the tribes of Israel did not join us at Mizpah when we assembled in the presence of the Lord?" And they discovered that no one from Jabesh Gilead had attended the assembly, for after they counted all the people, no one from Gilead was presented. So the assembly sent 12,000 of their best warriors to Jabesh Gilead with orders to kill everyone there, including women and children. This is what you are to do, they said: "Completely destroy all the males and every woman who is not a virgin." Among the residents of Jabesh Gilead, they found 400 young virgins who had never slept with a man, and they brought them to the camp at Shiloh in the land of Canaan. The Israelites assembly sent a peace delegation to the remaining people of Benjamin who were living at the rock Rimmon. All right, this guy just keeps on crying. Get out of here. There we go. I'm drinking an energy drink. Goodness gracious. Crazy, dude. The Israelites assembly sent a peace diligence to remaining people of Benjamin who were living at the rock of Rimmon. Then the men of Benjamin returned to their homes, and the 400 women of Jabesh Gilead who had been spared were given to them as wives. But there were not enough women for all of them. The people felt sorry for Benjamin because the Lord had made this gap among the tribes of Israel. So the leaders of assembly asked, "How can we find wives for the few who remain, since the women of the tribe of Benjamin are dead? There must be heirs for the survivors, that an entire tribe of Israel is not wiped out. But we cannot give them our own daughters in marriage, because we have sworn with a solemn oath that anyone who does this will fall under God's curse." Then they thought of an annual festival of the Lord held in Shiloh, south of Lebanon and north of Bethel, along the east side of the road that goes from Bethel to Shechem. Goodness gracious, they don't give up, huh? Get out of here. It's funny. Read all the crazy comments. All right, so we're going on. Okay, so they told the men of Benjamin who still needed wives, "Go and hide in the vineyards. When you see the young women of Shelah come out for their dances, rush out from the vineyards, and each of you can take one of them home to the land of Benjamin to be your wife. And when their fathers and brothers come to us in protest, we will tell them, 'Please be sympathetic. Let them have your daughters, for we didn't find wives for all of them when we destroyed Jabesh Gilead. And you are not guilty of breaking the vow, since you did not actually give your daughters to them in marriage.' So the men Benjamin did as they were told. Each man caught one of the women as she danced in the celebration and carried her off to his wife. They returned to their own land, and they rebuilt their towns and lived in them. Then the people of Israel departed by tribes and families, and they returned to their own homes. In those days, Israel had no king. All the people did whatever seemed right in their own eyes. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Let's go. We're reading Ruth. Ruth in the NLT version, the Holy Bible, chapter 1. We're going to keep on going. Yes. That's right. Thank you so much for listening to the Bible. Appreciate it. Thank you for subbing and hitting the bell notification to get the notifications. Uh-huh. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. Chapter 1. Amalek moves his family to Moab. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is an energy drink. Gosh, they're like, oh, he's drinking. I'm drinking energy drink. In the days when the judges ruled in Israel, a famine came upon the land, so a man from Bethlehem in Judah left his home and went to live in the country of Moab, taking his wife and 2 sons with him. The man's name was Elimelech, and his wife was Naomi. Their 2 sons were Melon and Kilion. They were Pharites from Bethlehem in the land of Judah. And when they reached Moab, they settled there. Then Amalek died, and Naomi was left with her 2 sons. The 2 sons married Moabite women. One married a woman named Oprah, and the other a woman named Ruth. But about 10 years later, both Milan and Kilion died. This name left Naomi alone without her 2 sons or her husband. Naomi and Ruth return. Then Naomi heard in Moab that the Lord has blessed his people in Judah by giving them good crops again. So Naomi and her daughters-in-law got ready to leave Moab to return to her homeland. With her 2 daughters-in-law, she set out from the place where she had been living, and they took the road with what led them back to Judah. But on the way, Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, go back to her mother's homes, and may the Lord reward you for your kindness to your husbands and to me. May the Lord bless you with the security of another marriage. Then she kissed them goodbye, and they all broke down and wept. No, they said, we want to go with you to your people. But Naomi replied, why should you go on with me when I can still give birth to other sons who could grow up to be your husbands? No, my daughters, return to your parents' homes, for I am too old to marry again. And even if it were possible and I were to get married tonight and bear sons, then what? Would you wait for them to grow up and refuse to marry someone else? No, of course not. My daughters, things are far more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord himself has raised his first against me. And again they wept together, and Oprah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye. But Ruth clung tightly to Naomi. Look, Naomi said to her, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and her gods. You should do the same. Oh my goodness, no. There's only one God. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. 2 words. Goodbye. Yeah, all right. But Ruth replied, don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allowed anything but death to separate us. When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she said nothing more. So the 2 of them continued on their journey. When they came to Bethlehem, the entire town was excited by their arrival. Is it really Naomi? The woman asked. Don't call me Naomi. She responded, instead call me Mara, for the Almighty has made life very bitter for me. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me home empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has caused me to suffer, and the Almighty has sent such tragedy upon me? So Naomi returned from Rob, accompanied by her daughter-in-law Ruth, the young Moabite woman. They arrived in Bethlehem in late spring, at the beginning of the barley harvest. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, yeah. Chapter 2, Ruth. Chapter 2 in the NLT version, the Holy Bible. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. Ruth works in Boaz's field. Now there was a wealthy and influential man in Bethlehem named Boaz, who was a relative of Naomi's husband, Elimelech. One day, Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "Let me go out into the harvest fields to pick up the stalks of grain left behind by anyone who is kind enough to let me do it." Here we go. Naomi replied, "All right, my daughter, go ahead." So Ruth went out to gather grain behind the harvesters, and as it happened, she found herself working in a field that belonged to Boaz, the relative of her father-in-law Elimelech. While she was there, Boaz arrived from Bethlehem, and greetings, the harvesters. The Lord will be with you, he said. The Lord bless you. The harvesters replied. The Boaz asked his foreman, "Who is that young woman over there? Who does she belong to?" And the foreman replied, "She is a young woman from Moab who came back with Naomi. She asked me this morning if she could gather grain behind the harvesters. She has been hard at work ever since, except for a few minutes. Rest in the shelter." Boaz went over and said to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter stayed right here with us. When you gather grain, don't go to any other fields. Stay right behind the young woman working in my field. See which part of the field they are harvesting, and then follow them. I have warned the young man not to treat you roughly. And when you are thirsty, help yourself to water they have drawn from the well." Come on, Jesus. Yes. Come on, Jesus. Let's go. Yeah. What's up? What's up? I'm reading Ruth in the NLT version and the Holy Bible. Yes. Come on, Jesus. Peter. It's not really up to you, Peter. 1 Samuel 16:7. For man looks at the outwardly, but the Lord looks within our fleshly heart. Right? What about you? What? Have you ever had sex before marriage? Have you ever masturbated? Have you ever lied to anybody? Have you ever stole from anybody? Have you ever honored your mother and father? That's a sin too. What about thou shalt not judge one another? You can't judge one another, right? We're supposed to love thy neighbor, not condemn thy neighbor. Oh, Peter, oh, you don't read the Bible? Read the Bible, buddy. Come on. Yeah. All right. Ruth fell at his feet and thanked him warmly. "What have I done to deserve such kindness?" she asked. "I am only a foreigner." "Yes, I know." Boaz replied, "But I also know about everything you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your own husband. I have heard how you left your father and mother and your own land to live here among complete strangers. May the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge, reward you fully for what you have done." Come on, Jesus. Let's go. Jesus. Yes. All right. I hope I continue to please you, sir. She replied, "You have comfort me by speaking so kindly to me, even though I am not one of your workers." At mealtime, Boaz called to her, "Come over here and help yourself to some food. You can dip your bread in your sour wine." So she sat with his harvesters, and Boaz gave her some roasted grain to eat. She ate all she wanted and still had some left over. When Ruth went back to work, again, Boaz ordered his young men, "Let her gather grain right among the sheaves without stopping her, and pull out some heads of barley from the bundles and drop them on purpose for her. Let her pick them up and don't give her a hard time." So Ruth gathered barley there all day, and when she beat out the grain that evening, it filled an entire basket. She carried it back into town and showed it to her mother-in-law. Come on, Jesus, let's go. Ruth also gave her the roasted grain that was left over from her meal. Where did you gather all these grain today? Naomi asked, where did you work? May the Lord bless the one who helped you. So Ruth told her mother-in-law about the man in whose field she had worked. She said, the man I worked with today is named Boaz. May the Lord bless him. Naomi told her daughter-in-law, he is showing his kindness to us as well as to your dead husband. That man is one of our closest relatives, one of our family's redeemers. Then Ruth said, what's more, Boaz even told me to come back and stay with his harvesters until the entire harvest is completed. Good, Naomi exclaimed. Do as he said, my daughter. Stay with his young woman right through the whole harvest. You might be harassed in other fields, but you'll be safe with him. So Ruth worked alongside the women in Boaz's field and gathered grain with them until the end of the barley harvest. Then she continued working with them through the wheat harvest and early summer, and all the while she lived with her mother-in-law. Come on, Jesus, let's go. Well, then you read the Bible yourself. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, then you read it yourself. I'm so sorry, I can't read. Yeah, you're out of here, buddy. See you later. Chapter 3, Ruth. Chapter 3, the NLT version. Yes. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, that's right. Energy drink. F3 energy drink, yeah. Thank you guys for being on here. Make sure to sub and hit the bell notification so you get the notifications. Thank you guys so much. Yes. All right. Ruth at the threshing floor, chapter 3, in the NLT version in the Holy Bible. One day, Naomi said to Ruth, my daughter, it's time that I found a permanent home for you so that you will be provided for. Boaz is a close relative of ours, and he's been very kind by letting you gather grain with his young woman. Tonight, he will be whining or barley at the threshing floor. Now do as I tell you. Take a bath and put on perfume and dress in your nicest clothes. Then go to the threshing floor, but don't let Boaz see you until he has finished eating and drinking. Be sure to notice where he lies down. Then go and uncover his feet and lie down there. He will tell you what to do. I will do everything you say, Ruth replied. So she went down to the threshing floor and that night and followed the instructions of her mother-in-law. After Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he lay down at the far end of the pile of grain and went to sleep. Then Ruth came quietly, uncovered his feet, and lay down around midnight. Boaz suddenly woke up and turned over. He was surprised to find a woman lying at his feet. Who are you? He asked. I am your servant Ruth. She replied, spread the corner of your covering over me, for you are my family redeemer. The Lord bless you, my daughter. Boaz exclaimed, you are showing even more family loyalty now than you did before. For you have not gone after a younger man, whether rich or poor. Now don't worry about a thing, my daughter. I will do what is necessary, for everyone in town knows you are a virtuous woman. But while it's true that I am one of your family redeemers, there is another man who is more closely related to you than I am. Stay here tonight, and in the morning I will talk to him. If he is willing to redeem you, very well, let him marry you. But if he is not willing, then as surely as the Lord lives, I will redeem you myself. Now lie down here until morning. Chapter 3, Ruth 14. So Ruth lay at Boaz's feet until the morning, but she got up before it was light enough for people to recognize each other. For Boaz had said, no one must know that a woman was here at the threshing floor. Then Boaz said to her, Bring your cloak and spread it out. He measured 6 scoops of barley into the cloak and placed it on her back. Then he returned to the town. When Ruth went back to her mother-in-law, Naomi asked, "What happened, my daughter?" Ruth told Naomi everything Boaz had done for her, and she added, "He gave me these 6 scoops of barley and said, 'Don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed.'" Then Naomi said to her, "Just be patient, my daughter, until we hear what happens." The man wouldn't rest until he was settled things today. Come on, Jesus. Yes, I'm punk rock, bro. I'm punk rock. Yeah, I'm punk rock. What up, what up, what up? All right, chapter 4. Chapter 4. Ruth, NLT version in the Holy Bible. Come on, Jesus. Boaz marries Ruth. Boaz went to the town gate and took a seat there. Just then, the family redeemer he had mentioned came by. So Boaz called out to him, "Come over here and sit down, friend. I want to talk to you." So they sat down together. Then Boaz called 10 leaders from the town and asked them to sit as a witness. And Boaz said to the family redeemer, "You know Naomi, who came back from Moab. She is selling the land that belongs to our relatives, Elimelech. I thought I would speak to you about it so that you can redeem it if you wish. If you want the land, then buy it here in the presence of these witnesses. But if you don't want it, let me know right away, because I am next in line to redeem it after you." The man replied, "All right, I'll redeem it." Then Boaz told him, "Of course, your purchase of the land from the Naomi also requires that you marry Ruth, the Moabite widow, that way she can have children who will carry on her husband's name and keep the land in the family. Then I can't redeem it." The family redeemer replied, "Because this might endanger my own state. You redeem the land, I cannot do it. Now is those days it was the custom is in Israel for anyone transferring a right of purchase to remove his sandal and hand it to the other party." Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Let's go. Yeah. To the other party. This publicity violated the transaction. So the other family redeemer drew off his sandal as he said to Boaz, "You buy the land." Then Boaz said to the elders and to the crowd standing around, "You are witness that day I have brought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Kilion, and Melon, and with the land I have acquired Ruth, the Moabite widow of Melon, to be my wife. This way she can have a son to carry on the family name of her dead husband and inherit the family property here in his hometown. You are all witnesses today." Come on, Jesus. Yes. Then the elders and all the people standing in the gate replied, "We are witness. May the Lord make this woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, from whom all the nations of Israel descended. May you prosper in Ithra and be famous in Bethlehem. And may the Lord give you descendants by this young woman who will be like those of our ancestors Perez, the son of Tamar, and Judah." The descendants of Boaz. So Boaz took Ruth into his home, and she became his wife. She slept with her. The Lord enabled her to become pregnant, and she gave birth to a son. Then the woman of the town said to Naomi, "Praise the Lord, who has now provided a redeemer for your family. May this child be famous in Israel. May he restore your youth and care for you in your old age. For he is the son of your daughter-in-law who loves you and has been better to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the baby and cuddled him to her breast, and she cared for him as if he were her own. The neighbor woman said, "Now at last Naomi has a son again," and they named him Obed. He became the father of Jesse and the grandfather of David. This is the genealogical record of their ancestors Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron was the father. Pastor Joey. Hold on a second. Pastor Joey's on. What's up, broski?
What's going on, bro? What you doing?
I'm on the live reading the last chapter of Ruth.
Nice. I'll roll up like around 1:45 too.
Yeah, bro. I'm just here. I'm just kicking it, bro.
All right, cool. I'll be there around 1:45 too.
Does this mean we're gonna go to? Are we gonna go to lunch or what?
Yeah. Have some Come on.
Bro,
Here.
400 people are on here, and they're listening to Pastor Joey, dude.
Gnarly. Hello, everybody.
Dang. Say hi to Pastor Joey, everybody.
Hello, everybody. All right, bro. See you in a bit.
All right, bro. Later, bro. All right, that was Pastor Joey. Yes, Pastor Joey. He's coming over. I'm gonna cut his hair. Yeah. So yeah, Pastor Joey's coming over. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, we're reading the rest of Ruth. Perez was the father of Hezron, and was the father of Ram. Ram was the father of Abram. Abram was the father of Nishon, and Nishon was the father of Solomon. Solomon was the father of Boaz. Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of David. Come on, Jesus. First Samuel, what? First Samuel in the NLT version in the Holy Bible. First Samuel 16:7 is my favorite. Come on, Jesus. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Here, there was a man named Elkanah who lived in Ramah in the region of Ziv, or so hard to read that. Zupu. I can't read that. In the hill country of Ephraim, he was the son of Jeremiah, son of Eli, son of Tuah, son of Zob, Ephraim, two wives, Hannah and Paramah. Paramah had children, but Hannah did not. Each year, Elkanah would travel in Shiloh to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of heavens and armies at the tabernacle. The priests of the Lord at that time were two sons of Eli, Hophni and Panaphas. On the days of Elkanah presented his sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to Peninnah and each of her children. His words are hard. And though he loved Hannah, he would give her only one choice portion because the Lord had given her no children. So Peninnah would taunt Hannah and make fun of her because the Lord had kept her from having children. Year after year, it was the same. Peninnah would taunt Hannah, and they went to the tabernacle. Each time, Hannah would be reduced to tears and would not even eat. Why are you crying, Hannah? Elkanah would ask, why aren't you eating? Why aren't you eating? Why be downhearted just because you have no children? You have me. Isn't that better than having 10 sons? Hannah's prayer for a son. Once after a sacrificial meal at Shiloh, Hannah got up and went to pray. Eli, the priest, was sitting at his customary place besides the entrance of the tabernacle. Hannah was in deep anguish, crying bitterly as she prayed to the Lord. And she made this vow, O Lord of heavens, armies, if you will look upon my sorrow and answer my prayer and give me a son, then I will give him back to you. He will be yours for his entire lifetime. And as a sign that he has been dedicated to the Lord, his hair will never be cut. As she was praying to the Lord, Eli, watching her, seeing her lips moving but hearing no sound, he thought he had been drinking. Most you come here drunk, he demanded, throw away your wine. Come on, Jesus. Oh, no, sir, she replied. I haven't been drinking wine or anything stronger. But I am very discouraged, and I was pouring out my heart to the Lord. Don't think I am wicked woman, for I have been praying out of great anguish and sorrow. In that case, Eli said, go in peace. May the God of Israel grant the request you have asked him of. Oh, thank you, sir, she exclaimed. Then she went back and began to eat again, and she was no longer sad. Samuel's birth and dedication. The entire family got up early the next morning and went to the worship of the Lord once more. Then they returned home to Ramah. When Elkanah slept with Hannah, the Lord remembered her plea, and in due time she gave birth to a son. She named him Samuel, for she said, I asked the Lord for him. The next year, Elkanah and his family went on their annual trip to offer a sacrifice to the Lord and keep his vow. But Hannah did not go. She told her husband, wait until the boy is weaned. Then I will take him to the tabernacle and leave him there with the Lord permanently. Wherever you think is best, Elkanah agreed, stay here for now, and may the Lord help you keep your promise. So she stayed home and nursed the boy until she was weaned. Come on, Jesus. Yes. Who am I? Read my name. My name is Richie the Barber. Yeah. Richie the Barber, bro. I'm Richie the Barber. My wife is texting me. Typical American. Oh my gosh. You're on the bus? Oh wow, that's cool. No. Dude, they're shutting your water off again. Damn, that sucks, dude. That's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I'm married, dude. I'm married, yeah. Okay, when the children was weaned, Hannah took him to the tabernacle in Shiloh. They brought along a 3-year-old bull for the sacrifice and basket of flour and some wine. After sacrificing the bull, they brought the boy to Eli. Sir, do you remember me? Hannah asked. I am the very woman who stood here several years ago, praying to the Lord. I asked the Lord to give me this boy, and he has granted my request. Now I am giving him to the Lord, and he will belong to the Lord his whole life. And they worshiped the Lord there. Chapter 2, 1 Samuel. Chapter 2, Hannah's prayer of praise, the NLT version. Come on, Jesus. Let's go. My heart rejoices in the Lord. The Lord has made me strong. Now I have an answer for my enemies. I rejoice because you rescued me. No one is holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. Stop acting so proud and haughty. Don't speak with such arrogance, for the Lord is a God who knows what you have done. He will judge your actions. The bow of the mighty is now broken, and those who stumbled are now strong. Those who were well fed are now starving, and those who were starving are now full. The childless woman now has 7 children, and the woman with many children wastes away. The Lord gives us both death and life. He brings some down to the grave, but raises others up. The Lord makes some poor and others rich. He brings some down and lifts others up. He lifts the poor from the dust and the needy from the garbage dump. He sets them among princes, placing them in seats of honor. For all the earth is the Lord's, and he has set the world in order. He will protect his faithful ones, but the wicked will disappear in darkness. No one will succeed by strength alone. Those who fight against the Lord will be shattered. He thunders against them from heaven. The Lord judges throughout the earth. He gives power to his king. He increases the strength of his anointed one. Come on, Jesus. Then Elkanah returned home to Ramah without Samuel, and the boy served the Lord by assisting Eli the priest. Come on, Jesus. The Lord's reaction to me, well, it says 1 Samuel 16, for man looks up the hourly, but the Lord knows our fleshly heart. And it says, anyone who calls upon the name of the Lord shall be set free. Jesus died for all of our sins. So he died for all of our sins. We believe that Jesus Christ is our Lord, the King of all kings. We declare that he is our Father. And we submit to him. We worship Jesus Christ. That's my answer to that. Come on. I mean, in the Holy Bible, there's a guy named Paul who was killing Christians. He killed Christians, and the Lord used him to tell his testimony, to even write even the books of the Bible. Come on. He used a man killing Christians So you're telling me what I look like, I can't be saved by Jesus Christ? That's crazy. Come on. He sets them among priests. Okay, so where do we go? Eli's wicked sons. Now the sons of Eli were scoundrels who had no respect for the Lord or for their duties as priests. Whenever anyone offered a sacrifice, Eli's sons would send over a servant with the three-pronged fork. While the meat of the sacrifice animal was still boiling, the servant would stick the fork into the pot and demand that whatever it brought up be given to Eli's sons. All the Israelites who came to worship a Ceylon were treated this way. Sometimes the servant would come even before the animal's fat had been burned on the altar. He would demand raw meat before it had been boiled so that it could be used for roasting. The man offering the sacrifice might reply, "Take as much as you want, but the fat must be burned first." Then the servant would demand, "No, give it to me now, or I'll take it by force." So the sin of these young men was very serious in the Lord's sight, for they treat the Lord's offerings with contempt. Come on, Jesus. Let's go, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. I'm gonna drink some more energy. Let's go. Yeah. What's up, Neverlands? Yo. What's up? There's so many people on here. All right, here we go. We're moving on. But Samuel, though he was only a boy, served the Lord. He wore a linen garment like that of a priest. Each year his mother made a small coat for him and brought it to him when she came with her husband for the sacrifice. Before they returned home, Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "May the Lord give you other children to take the place of this one she gave to the Lord." And the Lord blessed Hannah, and she conceived and gave birth to 3 sons and 2 daughters. Meanwhile, Samuel grew up in the presence of the Lord. Now Eli was very old, but he was aware of what his sons were doing to the people of Israel. He knew, for instance, that his sons were seducing the young women who assisted at the entrance of the tabernacle. Eli said to them, "I have been hearing reports from all the people about the wicked things you are doing. Why do you keep sinning? You must stop, my sons. The reports I hear among the Lord's people are not good. If someone sins against another person, God can mediate for the guilty party. But if someone sins against the Lord, who can intercede?" But Eli's sons wouldn't listen to their father, for the Lord was already planning to put them to death. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel grew taller and grew in favor with the Lord and with the people. A warning for Eli's family. Come on, Jesus. One day, a man of God came to Eli and gave him this message from the Lord. "I revealed myself to your ancestors when they were Pharaoh's slaves in Egypt. I chose your ancestors, Aaron, from among all the tribes of Israel, to be my priest, to offer sacrifices on my altar, to burn incense, and to wear the priestly vest as he served me. And I assigned the sacrificial offerings to you priests. So why do you scorn my sacrifices and offerings? Why do you give your sons more honor than you give me? For you and they have become fat from the best offerings of my people Israel. Therefore, the Lord God of Israel says, I promised that your branch of the tribe of Levi would always be my priest. But I will honor those who honor me, and I will despise those who think lightly of me. The time is coming when I will put an end to your family, so it will no longer serve as my priest. All the members of your family will die before their time. None will reach old age. You will watch with envy as I pour out my prosperity on the people of Israel, but no members of your family will ever live out their days. The few not cut off from starving or serving at my altar will survive, but only so their eyes can go blind and their hearts break and their children will die a violent death. And to prove that what I have said will come true, I will cause your two sons, Hapani and Pinahas, to die on the same day. Then I will raise up a faithful priest who will serve me and do what I desire. I will establish his family, and they will be my priests to my anointed kings forever. Then all of your surviving family will bow before him, begging for money and food. Please, they will say, give us jobs among the priests so we will have enough to eat. Chapter 3, 1 Samuel chapter 3 in the NLT version. Come on, Jesus, let's go. The Lord speaks to Samuel. Come on, Jesus. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel served the Lord by assisting Eli. Now, in those days, messages from the Lord were very rare, and visions were quite uncommon. One night, Eli, who was also almost blind by now, had gone to bed. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle near the ark of God. Suddenly, the Lord called out, Samuel. Yes, Samuel replied. What is it? He got up and ran to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? I didn't call you, Eli replied. Go back to bed. So he did. Then the Lord called out again, Samuel. Again, Samuel got up and went to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? I didn't call you, my son. Eli said, go back to bed. Samuel did not yet know the Lord because he had never had a message from the Lord before. So the Lord called a third time, and once more Samuel got up and went to Eli. Here I am. Did you call me? Then Eli realized it was the Lord who was calling the boy. So he said to Samuel, go and lie down again, and if someone calls again, say, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. So Samuel went back to bed, and the Lord came and called as before, Samuel, Samuel. And Samuel replied, speak, your servant is listening. Then the Lord said to Samuel, I am about to do a shocking thing in Israel. I am going to carry out all my threats against Eli and his family from the beginning to the end. I have warned him that judgment is coming upon his family forever because his sons are blaspheming God, and he hasn't disciplined them. So I have vowed that the sins of Eli and his sons will never be forgiven by sacrifices or offerings. Samuel speaks before the Lord. Samuel stayed in bed until morning, then got up and opened the doors of the tabernacle as usual. He was afraid to tell Eli what the Lord had said to him. But Eli called out to him, Samuel, Samuel, my son. Here I am, Samuel replied. What did the Lord say to you? Tell me everything, and may God strike you and even kill you if you hide anything from me. So Samuel told Eli everything. He didn't hold anything back. It is the Lord's will. Eli replied, let him do what he thinks best. As Samuel grew up, the Lord was with him, and everything Samuel paid proved to be reliable, and all Israel from Dan in the north of Beersheba in the south knew that Samuel was confirmed as a prophet of the Lord. The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh and gave messages to Samuel there at the tabernacle, and the Samuel's words went out to all the people of Israel. Come on, Jesus. Chapter 4. 1 Samuel chapter 4 in the NLT version in the Holy Bible. Come on, Jesus. Yeah, I seen the show The Chosen was good. It was good. There should be more episodes. It was great. The Philistines captured the ark. At that time, Israel was at war with the Philistines. The Israelites' army was camped near Ebezer, and the Philistines were at Emek. The Philistines attacked and defeated the army of Israel, killing 4,000 men. After the battle was over, the troops retreated to their camp, and the elders of Israel asked, why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines? Then they said, let's bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord from Shiloh. If we carry it into battle with us, it will save us from our enemies. So they sent men to Shiloh to bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord of heaven's armies, who is enthroned between the cherubim. Hophni and the Pinehas, the sons of Eli, were also there with the ark of the covenant of God. When all the Israelites saw the ark of the covenant of the Lord coming into the camp, their shout of joy was so loud it made the ground shake. "What's going on?" the Philistines asked. "What's all the shouting about in the Hebrew camp?" When they were told it was because the ark of the Lord had arrived, they panicked. "The gods have come into their camp," they cried. "This is a disaster. We have never had to face anything like this before. Help! Who can save us from these mighty gods of Israel? They are the same gods who destroyed the Egyptians with the plagues when Israel was in the wilderness. Fight as never before. Philistines, if you don't, we will become the Hebrews of the slaves just as they have been ours. Stand up like men and fight." So the Philistines fought desperately, and Israel was defeated again. The slaughter was great. 30,000 Israelite soldiers died that day. The survivors turned and fled to their tents. The ark of God was captured, and Hophni and Philistines, the two sons of Eli, were killed. The death of Eli, a man from the tribe of Benjamin, ran from the battlefield and arrived. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? And Shelah, later that same day, he had torn his clothes and put dust on his head to show his grief. Eli was waiting beside the road to hear the news of the battle, for his heart trembled for the safety of the ark of God. When the messengers arrived and told what had happened, an outcry resounded throughout the town. "What is all the noise about?" Eli asked. The messenger rushed over to Eli, who was 98 years old and blind. He said to Eli, "I have just come from the battlefield. I was there this very day." "What happened, my son?" Eli demanded. "Israel has been defeated by the Philistines." The messenger replied, "The people have been slaughtered, and your two sons, Hippani and Pinehas, were also killed, and the ark of God has been captured." When the messenger mentioned what had happened to the ark of God, Eli fell backward from his seat beside the gate. He broke his neck and died, for he was old and overweight. He had been Israel's judge for 40 years. Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Pinehas, was pregnant and near her time of delivery when she heard that the ark of God had been captured and that her father-in-law and husband were dead. She went into labor and gave birth. She died in childbirth, but before she passed away, the midwives tried to encourage her. "Don't be afraid," they said. "You have a baby boy." But she did not answer or pay attention to them. She named the child Ichabod, which means "where is the glory?" For she said, "Israel's glory is gone." She named him this because the ark of God had been captured and because her father-in-law and husband were dead. Then she said, "The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured." Oh my goodness. Chapter 5. Chapter 5. The ark of the Philistine, after the Philistines captured the ark of God, they took it from the battleground and Ebazar to the town of Ishbah. They carried the ark of God into the temple of Dagon and placed it beside an idol of Dagon. But when the citizens of Ashdod went to see it the next morning, Dagon had fallen with his face to the ground in front of the ark. Come on, Jesus. Let's go, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. All right. Pray for, oh, yeah. What's it? Ooh, here we go. Chapter 5, the Ark of Philistia. After the Philistines captured the Ark of God, they took it from the battleground. The Ebenezer to the town of Ishtad. They carried the Ark of God into the temple of Dagon. Yep. So the Ark of God, they took it from the battleground of Isbazar to the town of Ashdod. They carried the Ark of God into the temple of Dagon and placed it beside an idol of Dagon. But when the citizens of Ashdod went to see it the next morning, Dagon had fallen with his face to the ground in front of the Ark of the Lord. So they took Dagon and put him in his place again. But the next morning, the same thing happened. Dagon had fallen face down before the ark of the Lord again. This time, his head and hands had broken off and were lying in the doorway. Only the trunk of his body was left intact. That is why this day, neither the priest of Dagon nor anyone who enters the temple of Dagon is Ashdod will step on its threshold. Come on, Jesus. Well, Sandler, you can just go if you don't like my reading. Goodbye. Then the Lord's heavy hand struck the people of Ashdod and nearby villages with a plague of tumors. When the people realized what was happening, they cried out, "We can't keep the ark of the God of Israel here any longer. He is against us. We will all be destroyed along with Dagon, our God." So they called together the rulers of Philistines' towns and asked, "What should we do with the ark of the God of Israel?" The rulers discussed it and replied, "Move it to the town of Gath." So they moved the ark of the God of Israel to Gath. But when the ark arrived at Gath, the Lord's heavy hand fell on its men, young and old. He struck them with a plague of tumors, and there was a great panic. So they sent the ark of God to the town of Ekron, but when the people of Ekron saw it coming, they cried out, They're bringing the ark of the God of Israel here to kill us too." The people summoned the Philistines' rulers against and begged them, "Please send the ark of God of Israel back to its own country, or it will kill us all." For the deadly plague from God had already begun, and great fear was sweeping across the town. Those who didn't die were afflicted with tumors, and cry from the town rose to heaven. Oh my goodness. Chapter 6, 1 Samuel chapter 6. The Philistines returned to the ark. The ark of the Lord remained in the Philistines' territories 7 months in all. Then the Philistines called in their priests and diviners and asked them, "What should we do at the ark of the Lord? Tell us how to return to its own country. Send the ark of God of Israel back with a gift." They were told, "Send a guilt offering so the plague will stop. Then if you are healed, you will know it was his hand that caused the plague." "What sort of guilt offering should we send?" they asked. And they were told, "Since the plague has struck both you and your 5 rulers, make 5 gold tumors and 5 gold rats, just like those that have ravaged your land. Make these things to show honor to the God of Israel. Perhaps then he will stop afflicting you, your gods, and your land. Don't be stubborn and rebellious as Pharaoh and the Egyptians were. By the time God was finished with them, they were eager to let Israel go. Now build a new cart and find 2 cows that have just given birth to the calves. Make sure the cows have never been yoked to a cart. Hitch the cows to the cart, but shut their calves away from them in a pen. Put the ark of the Lord on the cart, and beside it place a chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors you are sending as a guilt offering. Then let the cows go wherever they want. If they cross the border of our land and go to Beth Shemesh, we will know it was the Lord who brought this great disaster upon us. If they don't, we will know it was not his hand that caused the plague. Ooh, this is not a movie. This is a live stream on YouTube. So these instructions were carried out. 2 cows were hitched to cart, and their newborn calves were shut up in a pen. Then the ark of the Lord and the chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors were placed on the cart. And sure enough, without the veering off in other directions, the cows went straight along the road toward Beth Shemesh, lowering as they went. The Philistine rulers followed them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh. The people of Beth Shemesh were harvesting wheat in the valley, and when they saw the ark, they were overjoyed. The cart came into the field of a man named Joshua and stopped beside a large rock. So the people broke up the wood of the cart for a fire and killed the cows and sacrificed them to the Lord as a burnt offering. Several men of the tribe of Levi lifted the ark of the Lord and the chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors from the carts and placed them on the large rock. Many sacrifices and burnt offerings were offered to the Lord that day by the people of Bethlehem. The 5 Philistine rulers watched all this, and then they returned to Ekron that same day. The 5 gold tumors sent by the Philistines as a great offering to the Lord were gifts from the rulers of Ashdod, Gaza, Ekron, Gath, and Ekron. The 5 gold rats presented the 5 Philistines towns and their surrounding villages. Come on, Jesus. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There you go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. All right. Surrounding which were controlled by the 5 rulers, the large rock of Beth Shemesh, where they set the ark of the Lord, still stands in the field of Joshua as a witness to what happened there. The ark moved to Kirath Jearim, but the Lord killed 70 men from Beth Shemesh because they looked into the ark, the Lord. And the people mourned greatly because of what the Lord had done. Who is able to stand in the presence of the Lord, this holy God? They cried out, where can we send the ark from here? So they sent messengers to the people of Kirath Jearim and told them, Palestinians have returned to the ark of the Lord. Come here and get it. Yeah. Chapter 7, 1 Samuel chapter 7 in the NLT version. Come on, Jesus. So the men of Kiriath Jearim came to get the ark of the Lord. They took it to the hillside home of Abinadab and ordained Islar, his son, to be in charge of it. The ark remained in Kiriath Jearim for a long time, 20 years in all. During that time, all Israel mourned because it seems the Lord had abandoned them. Come on, Jesus. What's up? Samuel leads Israel to victory. Yes. I don't have to take my piercings out. I can kick you out, though. See you later. If you don't like my piercings, peace later. Then Samuel said to all the people of Israel, if you want to return to the Lord with all your hearts, get rid of your foreign gods and your images of Ishtaroth. Turn your hearts to the Lord and obey him alone, and he will rescue you from the Philistines. So the Israelites got rid of their images of Baal and Ashtoreth and worshipped only the Lord. Then Samuel told them, gather all of Israel in Mishpath, and I will pray to the Lord for you. So they gathered to Mishpath, and in a great ceremony drew water from the well and poured it out before the Lord. They also went without food all day and confessed that they had sinned against the Lord. It was Mishpath that Samuel became Israel's judge. When the Philistine rulers heard that Israel had gathered at Mishpath, they mobilized their army and advanced. The Israelites were badly frightened when they learned that the Philistines were approaching. Don't stop pleading with the Lord our God to save us from the Philistines. They begged Samuel. So Samuel took a young lamb and offered it to the Lord as a whole burnt offering. He pleaded with the Lord to help Israel, and the Lord answered him. Just as Samuel was sacrificing the burnt offering, the Philistines arrived to attack Israel. But the Lord spoke with mighty voice of thunder from the heaven that day, and the Philistines were thrown into such confusion that the Israelites defeated them. The men of Israel chased them from Mishpath to a place below Beth Kar, slaughtering them all along the way. Samuel then took a large stone and placed it between the towns of Mishpath and Shemeth. He named it Esbarzar, which means the stone of help, for he said, up to this point the Lord has helped us. So the Philistines were subdued and didn't invade Israel again for some time. And throughout Samuel's lifetime, the Lord's powerful hand was raised against the Philistines. The Israelite villages near Ekron and Gath and the Philistines had captured were restored to Israel, along with the rest of the territory that the Philistines had taken. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites in those days. Samuel continued as Israel's judge for the rest of his life. Each year he traveled around, setting up his court first in Bethel, then at Gilgal, and then at Mishpath. He judged the people of Israel at each of these places. Then he would return to his own at Ramoth, and he would hear cases there too. And Samuel built an altar to the Lord of Ramoth. Come on, Jesus. Chapter 8, 1 Samuel chapter 8, the NLT version. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Israel requests a king. As Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons to be judges over Israel. Joel and Ibihah, his oldest sons, held court in Beersheba, but they were not like their father, for they were greedy for money. They accepted bribes and perverted justice. Finally, all the elders of Israel met at Ramah to discuss the matter with Samuel. Look, they told him, you are now old, and your sons are not like you. Give us a king to judge us like all the other nations have. Samuel was displeased with their request and went to the Lord for guidance. Do everything they say to you. The Lord replied, for they are rejecting me, not you. They don't want me to be their king any longer. Ever since I brought them from Egypt, they have continually abandoned me and followed other gods. And now they are giving you the same treatment. Do as they ask, but solemnly warn them about the way a king will reign over them. Samuel warns against a kingdom. So Samuel passed on Lord's warning to the people who were asking him for a king. This is how a king will reign over you. Samuel said the king will draft your sons and assign them to his chariots and his charioteers, making them run before this chariots. Some will be generals and captains in his army. Some will forced to plow in his fields and harvest his crops, and some will make his weapons and chariot equipment. The king will take your daughters from you and force them to cook and bake and make perfumes for him. Come on, Jesus. Come on, yeah. Let's go. Force them to cook and bake and make perfumes for him. He will take away the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his own officials. He will take a tenth of your grain and your grape harvest and distribute it among his officers and attendants. He will take your male and female slaves and demand the finest of your cattle and donkey for his own use. He will demand a tenth of your flocks, and you will be his slaves. Come on, Jesus. And you will be his slaves. Come on, Jesus. Yes. Come on, Jesus. Let's go, Jesus. Yeah. But the people refused to listen to Samuel's warning. Even so, we still want a king, they said. We want to be like the nations around us. Our king will judge us and lead us into battle. So Samuel repeated to the Lord what the people had said, and the Lord replied, do as they say and give them a king. Then Samuel agreed and sent the people home. Yes, come on, Jesus. Chapter 9, 1 Samuel chapter 9, NLT version. Let's go. Samuel meets Samuel. Or Saul. Sorry, Saul meets Samuel. I'm sorry. Saul meets Samuel. Let's go. There's a wealthy, influential man named Kish from the tribe of Benjamin. He was the son of Abel, son of Zerah, son of Bechorath, son of Aphiah, son of the tribe of Benjamin. His son Saul was the most handsome man in Israel, head and shoulders taller than anyone else in the land. One day Kish the donkey strayed away, and he told Saul, take a servant with you and go look for the donkeys. So Saul took one of the servants and traveled through the hill country of Ephraim, the land of Shechem area, and the entire land of Benjamin, but they couldn't find the donkeys anywhere. Finally, they entered the region of Zuphoth, and Samuel said to his servants, "Let's go home. By now, my father will be more worried about us than about the donkeys." But the servant said, "I've just thought of something. There is a man of God who lives here in this town. He is held in high honor by all the people because everything he says comes true. Let's go find him. Perhaps he can tell us which way to go." But we don't have anything to offer him. Saul replied, "Even our food is gone, and we don't have a thing to give him." Well, the servant said, "I have a small silver piece. We can at least offer it to the man of God and see what happens." In those days, if people wanted a message from the God, they would say, "Let's go and ask the seer." For prophets used to be called seers. "All right," Saul agreed. "Let's try it." So they started it into the town where the man of God lived. As they were climbing the hill of the town, they met some young woman coming out to draw water. So Saul and his servants asked, "Is there a seer here today?" "Yes," he replied, or they replied, "Stay right on this road. He is at the town gates. He has just arrived to take part in a public sacrifice up at the place of worship. Hurry and catch him before he goes up there to eat. The guests won't begin until he arrives to bless the food." So they entered the town, and as they passed through the gates, Samuel was coming out to the ward them to go up to the place of worship. Now the Lord had told Samuel the previous day, "About this time tomorrow I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin. Anoint him to be the leader of my people Israel. He will rescue them from the Palestinians, for I have looked down on my people in mercy and have heard their cry." When Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said, "That's the man I told you about. He will rule my people." Just then Saul approached Samuel at the gateway and asked, "Can you please tell me where the seer's house is?" "I am the seer," Samuel replied. "Go up to the place of worship ahead of me. We will eat there together, and in the morning I'll tell you what you want to know and send you on your way. And don't worry about those donkeys that were lost 3 days ago, for they have been found, and I'm here to tell you that you and your families are the focus of all Israel's hopes." Samuel replied, "But I'm only from the tribe of Benjamin. The smallest tribe is Israel, and my family is the least important of all the families of the tribe. Why are you are talking like this to me?" Then Samuel brought Saul and his servants into the hall and placed them at the head of the table, honoring them above the 30 special guests. Samuel then instructed the cook to bring Samuel the finest cut of meat, the piece that had been set aside for the guest of honor. So the cook brought in the meat and placed it before Saul. "Go ahead and eat it," Samuel said. "I was saving it for you even before I invited these others." So Saul ate with Samuel that day. When they came down from the place of worship and returned to town, Samuel took Saul up to the roof of the house and prepared a bed for him there. At daybreak the next morning, Samuel called Saul. "Get up, it's time you were on your way." So Saul got ready, and he said, and Samuel left the house together. When they reached the edge of the town, Samuel told Saul to send his servants on ahead. After the servants was gone, Samuel said, "Stay here, for I have received a special message for you from God." Come on, Jesus, let's go. Well, we can just have you goodbye. See you later, buddy. Chapter 10, 1 Samuel chapter 10. Chapter 10, 1 Samuel chapter 10, NLT version. Samuel anoints Saul and king. Then Samuel took a flask of olive oil and poured it over Saul's head. He kissed Saul and said, "I am doing this because the Lord has appointed you to be the ruler over Israel, his special possession. When you leave me today, you will see 2 men beside Rachel's tomb at Zillah on the border of Benjamin. They will tell you that the donkeys have been found." let me see, found, and that your father has stopped worrying about them and is now worried about you. He is asking, have you seen my son? Have you seen my son? All right, we're on. When you get to the oak of Tabor, you will see three men coming toward you. You are on their way to worship God in Bethel. One will bring 3 young goats, another will have 3 loaves of bread, and the third will be carrying wineskins full of wine. They will greet you and offer you 2 of the loaves which you are to accept. When you arrive at Gipha of God, where the garrisons of the Palestines is located, you will meet a band of prophets coming down from the place of worship. They will be playing a harp, tambourine, a flute, and lyra, and they will be prophesying. At that time, the Spirit of the Lord will come powerfully upon you, and you will prophesy with them. You will be changed into a different. Ooh, we got 1,000 people in here. A different person. Come on, Jesus. Yes. After these signs take place, do what must be done. For God is with you. Then go down to Gilgal ahead of me. I will join you there to sacrifice burnt offerings and peace offerings. You must wait for 7 days until I arrive and give your father's instructions. Samuel's signs are fulfilled. As Samuel turned and started to leave, God gave him a new heart, and all Samuel's signs were fulfilled that day. When Samuel and his servants arrived at Geba, they saw a group of prophets coming toward them. Then the Spirit of God came powerfully upon Samuel, and he too began to prophesy. When those who knew Saul heard about it, they exclaimed, "What? Is even Saul a prophet? How did the son of Kish become a prophet?" And one of those standing there said, "Can anyone become a prophet, no matter who his father is?" So that is the origin of the saying, "Is even Saul a prophet?" When Saul had finished the prophesying, he went up to the place of worship. A place of worship. Let's go, let's go. "Where have you been?" Saul's uncle asked him and his servants. "We were looking for the donkeys," Saul replied, "but we couldn't find them. So we went to Saul to ask him where they were." "Oh, and what did he say?" his uncle asked. "He told us that the donkeys had already been found," Saul replied. But Saul didn't tell his uncle what Samuel said about the kingdom. Leviticus, what about have you had sex before marriage? Have you ever lied? Have you what? Have you ever stole before? Wow. Wow. Have you ever done any drugs before? Have you got drunk? Have you got wasted before? Oh, what about that? Leviticus, oh yeah. Saul is acclaimed king. Later Samuel called all the people of Israel to meet before the Lord as Mizpah. And he said to this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, has declared. I brought you from Egypt and rescued you from the Egyptians and from all of the nations that were oppressing you. But though I have rescued you from your misery and distress, you have rejected your God today and have said, "No, we want a king instead." Now therefore present yourselves before the Lord by your tribes and clans. So Samuel brought all the tribes of Israel before the Lord, and the tribe of Benjamin was chosen by Lot. Then he brought each family of the tribe of Benjamin before the Lord, and the family of Medarites was chosen, and finally Saul, son of Kish, was chosen from among them. But when they looked for him, he had disappeared. So they asked the Lord, "Where is he?" And the Lord replied, "He is hiding among the baggage." So they found him and brought him out, and he stood a head and shoulders above anyone else. Then Samuel said to all the people, "This is the man the Lord has chosen as your king. No one is all Israel is like him." And all the people shouted, "Long live the king." Come on, Jesus, let's go. Then Samuel told the people what the rights and duties of a king were. He wrote them down on a scroll and placed it before the Lord. Then Samuel sent the people home again. When Samuel returned to his home at Gibeah, a group of men whose hearts God had touched went with him. But there were some scoundrels who complained, "How can this man save us?" And they scorned him and refused to bring him gifts. But Saul ignored them. Nahash, king of the Ammonites, had been grievously oppressing the people of Gad, and Reuben, who lived east of the Jordan River, he gouged out the right eye of each of the Amorites living there, and he didn't allow anyone to come and rescue them. In fact, of all the Israelites east of the Jordan, there wasn't a single one whose right eye Nahash had not gouged out. But there were 7,000 men who had escaped from the Ammonites, and they had settled in Jabesh Gilead. Yes. What do you mean the only way to find God? God is within you. But yeah, we have to read the Word. But we also have to have a personal relationship between you and Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the only way to eternal life. Jesus Christ is the one who died for all of our sins. If you don't know who Jesus Christ is, he's the Son of God. In the Holy Bible, he died for all of our sins. If we declare that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior, we shall have freedom. But we have to repent for our sins and flee from our old self, right? So there's a lot of sinful acts. The Bible is a guideline. The Bible is our guide. It's our guidance. It's our direction. So we need to read and know the scripture, because the enemy will twist the scriptures, right? They'll twist the scriptures. They'll twist the truth, the way, and the life. And the Holy Bible is the truth and the way and the life. It's sharper than any two-edged sword. It is our sword. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I'm twisted? Well, you don't have to be on here if I'm twisted. See you later, Joseph. Goodbye. All right. Where were we at? I totally lost it. Oh, we're in chapter 11. Chapter 11, 1 Samuel chapter 11. Saul defeats the Amorites. Come on, Jesus, let's go. About a month later, King Nahash of Ammon led his army against the Israelites' town of Jabesh Gilead. But all the citizens of Jabesh asked for peace. Make a treaty within us, or treaty with us, and we will be your servants, they pleaded. All right, Nahash said, but only on one condition. I will gouge out the right eye of every one of you as a disgrace to all Israel. Oh my goodness. Give us 7 days to send messengers throughout Israel. Reply the elders of Jabesh, if no one comes to save us, we will agree to your terms. When the messenger came to Gibeah of Saul and told the people about their plight, everyone broke into tears. Saul had been plowing a field with his oxen, and when he returned to town, he asked, "What's the matter? Why is everyone crying?" So they told him about the message from Jabesh. Then the Spirit of God came powerfully upon Saul, and he became very angry. He took 2 oxen and cut them into pieces, and sent the messengers to carry them throughout Israel with this message. This is what will happen to the oxen of anyone who refuses to follow Saul and Samuel into battle. And the Lord made the people afraid of Saul's anger, and all of them came out together as one. When Saul mobilized them at Bezek, he found that there were 300,000 men from Israel and 300,000 men from Judah. So Saul sent the messengers back to Jabesh Gilead to say, "We will rescue you by noontime tomorrow." There was great joy throughout the town when that message arrived. The men of Jabesh then told their enemies, "Tomorrow we will come out to you, and you can do to us whatever you wish." But before dawn the next morning, Saul arrived, having divided his army into the 3 detachments. He launched a surprise attack against the Ammonites and slaughtered them the whole morning. The remnant of their army was so badly scattered that no 2 of them were left together. Then the people exclaimed to Samuel, "Now where are those men who said, 'Why should Saul rule over us?' Bring them here, and we will kill them. But Saul replied, no one will be executed today, for today the Lord has rescued Israel. Then Samuel said to the people, come, let us all go to Gilgal to renew the kingdom. They all went to Gilgal, and in Shalom ceremony before the Lord, they made Saul king. Then they offered peace offerings to the Lord, and Saul and all the Israelites were filled with joy. Come on, Jesus. Chapter 12, 1 Samuel, chapter 12. Samuel's farewell address. Then Samuel addressed all Israel. I have done as you ask and given you a king. Your king is now your leader. I stand here before you, an old gray-haired man, and my sons serve you. I have served as your leader from the time I was a boy to this very day. Now testify against me in the presence of the Lord and before his anointed one. Whose ox or donkey have I stolen? Have I ever cheated any of you? Have I ever oppressed you? Have I ever taken a bribe or perverted justice? Tell me, and I will make it right. Whatever I have done wrong. No, they replied, you have never cheated or oppressed us, and you have never taken even a single bribe. The Lord and his anointed one are my witness today. Samuel declared that my hands are clean. Yes, he is a witness, they replied. It was the Lord who appointed Moses and Aaron. Samuel continued, he brought your ancestors out of the land of Egypt. Now stand here quietly before the Lord as I remind you of all the great things the Lord has done for you and your ancestors. When the Israelites were in Egypt and cried out to the Lord, he sent Moses and Aaron to rescue them from Egypt and to bring them into this land. But the people soon forgot about the Lord their God. So he handed them over to Sisera, the commander of Ahazer's army, and also the Philistines and the king of Moab, who fought against them. Then they cried to the Lord again and confessed, we have sinned by turning away from the Lord and worshiping the images of Baal and Ashtoreth, but we will worship you and you alone if you will rescue us from our enemies. Then the Lord sent Gibeon, Bedon, Jephthah, and Samuel to save you, and you lived in safety. But when you were afraid of Neshash, the king of Aram, you came to me and said that you wanted a king to reign over you, even though the Lord your God was already your king. All right, here is a king you have chosen. You ask for him, and the Lord has granted your request. Now, if you fear and worship the Lord and listen to his voice, and if you do not rebel against the Lord's commands, and both you and your king will show that you recognize the Lord as your God. But if you rebel against the Lord's commands and refuse to listen to him, and his hand will be as heavy upon you as it was upon your ancestors. Now stand here and see the great things the Lord is about to do. You know that it does not rain at this time of the year during the wheat harvest. I will ask the Lord to send thunder and rain today. Then you will realize how wicked you have been in asking the Lord for your king. So Samuel called to the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. And all the people were terrified of the Lord and of Samuel. Pray to the Lord your God for us, or we will die. They all said to Samuel, for now we have added to our sins by asking for a king. Don't be afraid. Samuel reassured them. You have certainly done wrong, but make sure now that you worship the Lord with all your heart and don't turn your back on him. Don't go back to the worshiping worthless idols that cannot help or rescue you. They are totally useless. The Lord will not abandon his people because that what dishonored his great name. For it has pleased the Lord to make you his very own people. Come on, somebody, Jesus. As for me, I will certainly not sin against the Lord by ending my prayer for you, and I will continue to teach you what is good and right. But be sure to fear the Lord and faithfully serve him. Think of all the wonderful things he has done for you. But if you continue to sin, and your king will be swept away. Chapter 13, 1 Samuel chapter 13, continued war with Philistine. Come on, Jesus, let's go. go, Jesus, yes. All right, Saul was 30 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 42 years. And Saul selected 3,000 special troops from the army of Israel and sent the rest of the men home. He took 2,000 of the chosen men with him to Michmash and hill country of Bethel. The other 1,000 went with Saul's son Jonathan to Gibeath in the land of Benjamin. Soon after this, Jotham attacked and defeated the garrisons. Of Philistines of Gibeah. The news spread quickly among the Philistines, so Saul blew the ram's horn throughout the land, saying, Hebrews, hear this, rise up and revolt. All Israel heard the news that Saul had destroyed the Philistines' garrison at Gibeah, and that the Philistines now hated the Israelites more than ever. So the entire Israelite army was summoned to join Saul at Gilgal. The Philistines mustered a mighty army of 3,000 chariots, 6,000 charioteers, and as many warriors as grains of sand on the seashore. They camped on Michmash, east of Beth Eva. The men of Israel saw what a tight spot they were in, and because they were hard pressed by the enemy, they tried to hide in caves, thickets, rocks, holes, and cisterns. Some of them crossed the Jordan River and escaped into the land of Gad and Gilead. Saul's disobedience and Saul's rebuke. Meanwhile, Saul stayed at Gilgal, and his men were trembling with fear. Saul waited there 7 days for Samuel, and Samuel had instructed him earlier, but Samuel still didn't come. Saul realized that his troops were rapidly slipping away, so he demanded, bring me the burnt offering and the peace offerings. And Saul sacrificed the burnt offerings himself. Just as Saul was finishing with the burnt offering, Samuel arrived. Saul went out to meet and welcomed him. But Samuel said, what is this you've done? Saul replied, I saw my men scattering from me, and you didn't arrive when you said you would. And the Philistines are at Michmash, ready for battle. So I said, the Philistines are ready to march against us at Gilgal. And I haven't even asked for the Lord's help, so I felt compelled to offer the burnt offerings myself before you came. How foolish, Samuel exclaimed. You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. Had you kept it, the Lord would have established your kingdom over Israel forever. But now your kingdom must end, for the Lord has sought out a man after his own heart. The Lord has already appointed him to be the leader of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command. Come on, Jesus. Israel's military disadvantage. Samuel then left Gilgal and went on his way, but the rest of the troops went with Saul to meet the army. They went up from Gilgal to Gilbeth in the land of Benjamin. When Saul counted the men who were still with him, he found only 600 were left. Saul and Jonathan and the troops with them were staying at Geba. In the land of Benjamin, the Philistines set up their camp at Michmash. 3 raiding parties soon left the camp of Philistines. One went north toward the Ophrah in the land of Shaul, or Shushuel. I don't know, it's hard to say. Another went west to Beth Haran, and the third moved toward the border above the valley of Zibeon near the wilderness. There were no blacksmiths in the land of Israel. In those days, the Philistines wouldn't allow them to, for fear they would make swords and spears for the Hebrews. So whenever the Israelites needed to sharpen their plowshares, picks, axes, or sickles, they had to take them to the Philistines' blacksmith. The charges were as follows: a quarter of an ounce, a silver for sharpening a plowshare or a pick, and an eighth of an ounce for sharpening an axe or making the point of an ox goad. So on the day of the battle, none of the people of Israel had a sword or a spear except for Saul and Jonathan. The pass at Michmash had meanwhile been secured by a continued of Philistine army. Come on, Jesus. Chapter 14, 1 Samuel, chapter 14, Jonathan's daring plan. Come on, Jesus, let's go. I'm actually going to church tonight, 7 p.m. at First Love Church in Costa Mesa, California. You guys are all welcome. My wife's doing her testimony tonight. We'll be speaking. So at 7 p.m. tonight, First Love Church in Costa Mesa. Every Thursday, every Wednesday, and Thursday night, we will be there. You guys are all welcome in Costa Mesa. First Love Church, 7 p.m. tonight. And there's going to be cheesecake. Come on, let's go. Don't judge thy neighbors. Don't judge thy neighbors. Come on. Tattoos a sin? Or what about having sex before marriage? That's also a sin too. What about lying? What about cheating? What about drinking? Right? It says, do not be a drunkard. Have you ever drank before? What about drugs? Have you done drugs before? Wow. It also says, thou shalt not judge thy neighbor, right? Love thy neighbor as much as you love that yourself, right? Jesus Christ came to the world not to condemn, but to save the world, right? So you're over here judging when Jesus never judged, right? Jesus came to save, not condemn. But you're condemning. You're not supposed to judge. I'm reading the Holy Bible. Come on, Jesus. All right, chapter 14. Jonathan's daring plan. One day, Jonathan said to his armor bearer, come on, let's go over to where the Philistines have their outposts. But Jonathan did not tell his father what he was doing. Meanwhile, Saul and his 600 men were camped on the outskirts of Geba. Around the pomegranate tree at Maragon, among Saul's men was Ehon, the priest, who was wearing the ephod and the priestly vest. Ehah was the son of Ibachah's brothers, Attitude, sons of Peninnah, son of Eli, the priest of the Lord who had served at Siloam. No one realized that Jonathan had left the Israelite camp. To reach the Philistines' outposts, Jonathan had to go down between two rocky cliffs that were called Bozez and Seneth. The cliff on the north was in front of Michmash, and the one on the south was in front of Gibeah. Let's go across to the outposts of those pagans. Jonathan said to his armor bearer, perhaps the Lord will help us, for nothing can hinder the Lord. He can win a battle, whether he has many warriors or only a few. Come on, Jesus. Do what you think is best. The armor bearer replied, I'm with you completely, whatever you decide. All right, then, Jonathan told him, we will cross over and let them see us. If they say to us, stay where you are, or we'll kill you, then we will stop and not go up to them. But if they say, come on up and fight, then we will go up, and that will be the Lord's sign that he will help us defeat them. When the Philistines saw that coming out, they shouted, look, the Hebrews are crawling out of their holes. Then the men from the outpost shouted to Jonathan, come on up here, and we'll teach you a lesson. Come on, Jesus. Yes. Come on, climb right behind me. Jonathan said to his armor bearer, the Lord will help us defeat them. So they climbed up using both hands and feet, and Philistines fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer killed those who came behind them. They killed some 20 men in all, and their bodies were scattered over about half an acre. Suddenly, panic broke out in the Philistines' army, both in the camp and in the field, including even the outposts and raiding parties. And just then, an earthquake struck, and everyone waved terrified. Israel defeats the Philistines. Saul's lookouts in Gibeah of Benjamin saw a strange sight. The vast army of Philistines beginning to melt away in every direction. Call the roll and find out who's missing, Saul ordered. And when they checked, they found that Jonathan and his armor bearer were gone. Then Saul shouted to Eli, Bring the ephod here, for at that time the Eon was wearing the ephod in front of the Israelites. But while Saul was talking to the priests, the confusion in the Philistines' camp grew louder and louder. So Saul said to the priests, "Never mind, let's get going." Then Saul and all his men rushed out to the battle and found the Philistines killing each other. There was terrible confusion everywhere. Even the Hebrews who had previously gone over to the Philistines' army revolted and joined in with Saul. Jonathan and the rest of the Israelites, likewise, the men of Israel who were hiding in the hill country of Ephraim, joined the case when they saw the Philistines running away. So the Lord saved Israel that day. And the battle continued to rage even beyond Beth Aven. Saul's foolish oath. Now the men of Israel were pressed to exhaustion that day because Saul had placed them under an oath, saying, "Let a curse fall on anyone who eats before evening. Before I have full refuge on my enemies." So no one ate anything all day, even though they all found honey comb on the ground. In the forest, they didn't dare touch the honey because they all feared the oath they had taken. But Jonathan had heard his father's command and dipped the end of the stick into a piece of honeycomb and ate the honey. After he had eaten it, he felt refreshed. But one of the men saw him and said, "Your father made the army take a strict oath, and anyone who eats food today will be cursed. That is why everyone is wearing a fate. My father has made trouble for us." Jonathan exclaimed, "A command like that only hurts us. See how refreshed I am now that I have eaten this little bit of honey." Come on, Jesus, let's go. Come on, Jesus. Yes. Let's go, Jesus. All right, let's go. Yeah. Where are we at? The honey. Let me see. Let me see here. Israel defeats the Philistines. Oh man, did I lose my place again? If the man, if the man had been allowed to eat freely from the food they found among our enemies, think how many more Philistines we could have killed. They chased and killed the Philistines all day from Michmash to Eglon, growing more and more faint. That evening they rushed for the battle, plundered and butchered the sheep, goats, cattle, and calves, but they ate them without draining the blood. Someone reported to Saul, "Look, the men are sinning against the Lord by eating meat that still has blood in it." That is very wrong," Saul said. "Find a large stone and roll it over here. Then go out among the troops and tell them, 'Bring the cattle, sheep, and goats here to me. Kill them here and drain the blood before you eat them. Do not sin against the Lord by eating meat with the blood still in it.'" So that night, all the troops brought their animals and slaughtered them there. Then Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first of the altars we built to the Lord. Then Saul said, "Let's chase the Philistines all night and plunder them until sunrise. Let's destroy every last one of them." His men replied, "We'll do whatever you think is best." But the priest said, "Let's ask God first." So Saul asked God, "Should we go after the Philistines? Will you help us defeat them?" But God made no reply that day. Then Saul said to the leaders, "Something's wrong. I want all my army commanders to come here. We must find out what sin was committed today. I vow by the name of the Lord who rescued Israel that the sinner will surely die, even if it's my own son Jonathan." But no one would tell him what the trouble was. Then Saul said, "Jonathan and I will stand over here, and all of you stand over there." And the people responded to Saul, "Whatever you think is best." Then Saul prayed, "Oh Lord, is God of Israel, please show us who is guilty and who is innocent." Then they cast sacred lots, and Jonathan and Saul were chosen as the guilty ones. And the people were declared innocent. Then Saul said, "Now cast lots again," and chose between me and Jonathan. And Jonathan was shown to be the guilty one. "Tell me what we have done." Saul demanded of Jonathan, I tasted a little honey. Jonathan admitted, it was only a little bit on the end of my stick. Does that deserve death? Yes, Jonathan said, you must die. May God strike me and even kill me with you. Do not die for this. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. But the people broke in and said to Saul, Jonathan has won this great victory for Israel. Should he die? Far from it. As surely as the Lord lives, not one hair on his head will be touched. For God helped him do a great deed today. So the people rescued Jonathan, and he was not put to death. Then Saul called back the army from chasing the Philistines, and the Philistines returned home. Saul's military success. Come on, Jesus, let's go. Now when Saul had secured his grasp on Israel's throne, he fought against his enemies in every direction. Against Moab and Ammon, Edom, the kings of Zobeth, and the Philistines, and wherever he turned, he was victorious. He performed great deeds and conquered the Ammonites, saving Israel from all those who had plundered them. Saul's son included Jonathan, Ishbeth, and Michal. He also had two daughters, Merab, who was older, and Milcah. Saul's wife was Abinoam, the daughter of Isma. The commander of Saul's army was Abner, the son of Saul's uncle Ner. Saul's father Kish and Abner's father Ner were both sons of Abel. The Israelites fought consistently with the Philistines throughout the Saul's lifetime. So whenever Saul observed a young man who was brave and strong, he drafted him into his army. Saul's defeats the Amalekites. Chapter 15, 1 Samuel chapter 15 in the NLT version. Come on, let's go, Jesus. One day Samuel said to Saul, it was the Lord who told me to anoint you as king of his people, Israel. Now listen to this message from the Lord. This is what the Lord of heaven's armies has declared. I have decided to settle accounts with the nations of Amalek for opposing Israel when they came from Egypt. Now go and completely destroy the entire Amalekite nation, men, women, children, babies, cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and donkeys. So Saul mobilized his army at Tel-Melah. There were 200,000 soldiers from Israel and 10,000 men from Judah. Then Saul and his army went to a town of the Amalekites and lay in wait in the valley. Saul sent his warning to the Canaanites, move away from where the Amalekites live, or you will die with them. For you showed kindness to all these people of Israel when they came up from Egypt. So the Canaanites packed up and left. Then Saul slaughtered an Amalekites from Havilah all the way to Shur, east of Egypt. He captured Agag, the Amalekite king, but completely destroyed everyone else. Saul and his men spared Agag's life and kept the best of the sheep and goats, the cattle, the fat calves, and the lambs, everything, in fact, that appealed to them. They destroyed only what was worthless of pure or poor quality. The Lord rejects Saul. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Saul becomes Paul. Let's go. Then the Lord said to Saul, I am sorry that I ever made Saul king, for he has not been loyal to me and has refused to obey my command. Saul was so deeply moved when he heard this that he cried out to the Lord all night. Early the next morning, Samuel went to find Saul. Someone told him, let me see. Someone to be moved when he heard this. Early the next morning, Samuel went to find Saul. Someone told him Saul went to the town of Carmel to set up a monument to himself. Then he went on the Gilgal. When Samuel finally found him, Saul greeted him cheerfully. May the Lord bless you, he said. I have carried out the Lord's command. Then what is all the bleating of sheep and goats and all the lowing of cattle I hear? Samuel demanded, it's true that the army spared the best of the sheep, goats, and the cattle. Saul admitted, but they are going to sacrifice them to the Lord your God. We have destroyed everything else. Then Samuel said to Saul, stop. Listen to what the Lord told me last night. What did he tell you? Saul asked. And Samuel told him, Although you may think little of yourself, you are not the leader of the tribes of Israel. The Lord has anointed you king of Israel, and the Lord sent you on a mission and told you, go and completely destroy the sinners and Amalekites until they are all dead. Why haven't you obeyed the Lord? Why did you rush for the plunder and do what was evil in the Lord's sight? But I did obey the Lord, Saul insisted. I carried out the mission he gave me. I brought back King Agag, but I destroyed everyone else. Then my troops brought in the best of the sheep, goats, cattle, and plunder to sacrifice to the Lord your God in Gilgal. But Samuel replied, what is more pleasing to the Lord? Your burnt offerings and sacrifices? Or your obedience to his voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifice, and submission is better than offering the fat rams. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as bad as worship of idols. Come on, Jesus. Worse, don't do no witchcraft or no idols. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Don't do no witchcraft. Don't you dare do no witchcraft. That's demonic right there. And stubbornness as bad as worshiping idols. So because you have rejected the command of the Lord, he has rejected you as a king. Oh my goodness. Saul pleads for forgiveness. Then Saul admitted to Saul, yes, I have sinned. I have disobeyed your instructions. That's right. Holly Weird is crazy. If you want to read the King James Version, then you can read the King James Version. That's on you. But I'm reading the NLT version. I don't understand thou, thee, and though. So you can read the King James Version all you want. But I don't understand thou, thee, and though. Okay? So I'm reading the NLT version. If you don't like it, you can read whatever you want. But I'm reading what I want. Right? The Lord's command, for I was afraid of the people and did what they demanded. But now please forgive my sin and come back with me so that I may worship the Lord. But Samuel replied, I will not go back with you since you have rejected the Lord's command. He has rejected you as king of Israel. As Samuel returned to go, Saul tried to hold him back and tore the hem of his robe. And Samuel said to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom. The kingdom. Come on, Jesus. Huh. Okay. The kingdom. Let's go. Where's that? Kingdom of Israel from you today, and has given it to someone else. One who is better than you, and he who is the glory of Israel will not lie, nor will change his mind, for he is not human that he should change his mind. Then Samuel pleaded again, I know I have sinned, but please at least honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel by coming back with me so that I may worship the Lord your God. So Samuel finally agreed and went back with him, and Saul worshiped the Lord. Samuel executes King Agag. Then Samuel said, bring King Agag to me. Agag arrived full of hope, for he thought, surely the worst is over and I have been spared. But Samuel said, as your sword has killed the sons of many mothers, now your mother will be childless. And Samuel cut Agag to pieces before the Lord at Gilgal. Then Samuel went home to the Ramah, and Saul returned to his house at Gibeah of Saul. Samuel never went to meet with Saul again, but he mourned constantly for him, and the Lord was sorry he had ever made Saul king of Israel. Of Israel. Right. First Samuel 16. I love First Samuel 16:7. That's my favorite verse. It's coming up. It's coming up soon. Let's go. Samuel anoints David as king. Now the Lord said to Samuel, "You have mourned long enough for Saul. I have rejected him as king of Israel. So fill your flask with olive oil and go to Bethlehem. Find a man named Jesse, who lives there, for I have selected one of his sons to be my king." But Samuel asked, "How can I do that? If Saul hears about it, he will kill me. Take a heifer with you," the Lord replied, "and say that you have come to make a sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you which of his sons to anoint for me." So Samuel did as the Lord instructed. When he arrived at Bethlehem, the elders of the town came trembling to meet him. "What's wrong?" they asked. "Do you come in peace?" "Yes," Samuel replied, "I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Purify yourself and come with me to sacrifice." Then Samuel performed the purification rite for Jesse and his sons and invited them to sacrifice too. When they arrived, Samuel took one look at Eliab and thought, "Surely this is the Lord anointed." Yes. Got a lot of people on here. 1,000 people. Come on, let's go. But the Lord said to Samuel, "Don't judge by his appearance or height, or I have rejected him. The Lord does not see things the way you see them, but people judge by outward appearance. But the Lord looks at the heart." Did you hear that? The Lord doesn't see things the way you see them. People judge by outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Ooh, how powerful is that? The Lord looks at the heart, and he restores our mind and restores our heart, and he restores all of us if we allow him to work within us and submit to him, submit to Jesus Christ, to pick up our cross every single day, to follow him, and declare that he's our King, our Lord of all lords. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Then Jesse told his sons of Abinadab to step forward and walk in front of Samuel. But Samuel said, "This is not the one the Lord has chosen." Next, Jesse summoned Simea, but Samuel said, "Neither is this the one the Lord has chosen." In the same way, all 7 of Jesse's sons were presented to Samuel. But Samuel said to Jesse, "The Lord has not chosen any of these." Then Samuel asked, "Are these all the sons you have?" "There is still the youngest," Jesse replied, "but he's out in the fields watching the sheep and goats. Send for him at once." Samuel said, "We will not sit down to eat until he arrives." So Jesse sent for him. He was dark and handsome, with beautiful eyes. And the Lord said, "This is the one anointed him." So as David stood there among his brothers, Samuel took the flask of olive oil he had brought and anointed David with the oil. And the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David. From that day on, then Samuel returned to Ramah. David serves in Samuel's court. Now the Spirit of the Lord had left Samuel, and the Lord sent a tormenting spirit that filled with depression and fear. Oh my goodness. I didn't know he did that. Some of Saul's servants said to him, "A tormenting spirit from God is troubling you. Let us find a good musician to play the harp. Whenever the tormenting spirit troubles you, he will play soothing music, and you will soon be well again." "All right," Saul said, "find me someone who plays well and bring him here." One of the servants said to Saul, "One of Jesse's sons from Bethlehem is a talented harp player." I need to get a harp. For reals. I want to play harp. Not only that he is a brave warrior, a man of war, and he has good judgment, he is also a fine-looking young man, and the Lord is with him. So Saul sent messengers to Jesse to say, "Send me your son David the shepherd." Jesse responded by sending David to Saul, along with a young goat, a donkey loaded with bread, and a wineskin full of wine. So David went to Saul and began serving him. Saul loved David very much, and David became his armor barrier. Then Saul sent word to Jesse, asking, "Please let David remain in my service, for I am very pleased with him." And wherever the tormenting spirit from God trembled Saul, David would play the harp, then Saul would feel better. Come on, Jesus. The tormenting spirit would go away. Chapter 17 in the NLT version for Samuel. Chapter 17 in the NLT version. Come on, let's go, Jesus. Let's go, Jesus. Goliath challenges the Israelites. The Philistines now mustered their army for battle and camped between Sokoth and Judah and Achan. At Esadimia, Saul countered by gathering his Israelite troops near the valley of Elah. So the Philistines and Israelites face each other on opposite hills and with the valley between them. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Let's go, Jesus. Oh, no.
Pastor Joey.
What's up, broski?
I'm at your door, bro.
Oh, you got my door? All right. Hold on a second. Come on in. Come on in. That's Joey. Come on, bro. Check it out, dude. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody real fast. Real fast, dude. We got 574 people on here, dude.
Doggone it.
Take a seat. Let me put my socks on.
Alright. Oh, it's
All right.
knocked over your cup.
What's that,
What's
dude?
up, everybody?
My socks on.
What's going on? You reading the Bible?
Yeah, I was reading it's First Samuel. I passed
First Samuel.
17. Yeah.
So,
I passed it, bro.
man, so many people on here, bro.
Dude, there's 1,000 of us.
Crazy.
This is the live, dude.
How's it going, everybody?
Tell them about Saturday nights and the.
Saturday night, we have a live podcast on Richie's channel here
It's our channel, bro.
at 6:30. This Saturday, we're having an old school Christian punk band coming on.
No way.
Yeah, Officer Negative. So you're hearing it here first.
Damn.
Not going to want to miss it. So, got some big news. A lot of stuff we're going to be talking about, so you're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be good.
Dude, you hungry, bro?
I'm always hungry, dude.
You want to eat? Sorry.
After a haircut, or
Whatever you want to do.
I'll get a haircut first.
You want a haircut first?
Yeah.
Let's do a haircut. Let's do it.
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys, I'm going to cut past Joey's hair. Damn, 773 people. All right, I'm going to cut past Joey's hair right now. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications. Check out my Instagram, Pastor Richie the Barber. I'll be back live again. Thank you guys so much. Peace. I'm out. Laters. Check out Pastor Joey's Instagram, Joey Tez.